Sometimes the irony of trying to write a theme song for a show called This Will Never Work gets the best of you, and, well, it sucks. So, welcome.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to This Will Never Work. I'm Lincoln, and today my guest is a really good friend of mine, a friend that we've been friends for like 10 years. She's a world-renowned tattoo artist, super famous in that regard. I still can't believe she's friends with me to this day. This is actually her second time on the podcast, but she was on the old version of it, so that's going to be forever known as the lost episode, because the cursed episode. And that's only because, my God, she kept saying such horrible things the whole time, and I had to keep saying, Sam, please stop saying such terrible things. People aren't gonna like
stop
you.
Being so offensive.
And yeah, like, she was so offensive. She's a really nice person sometimes, but
just such
she
an
just
edgelord.
Oh my God, she says such horrible things. So welcome to the show, Sam Smith.
Thank you for having me again, Lincoln.
Welcome.
And I gotta say, chairs are comfier, place is cuter.
Cuter.
I'm loving it here.
You're loving it?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I'm loving
so
it too.
Nice.
It's funny. It feels like home now.
Well,
And with this only being the second episode in this space, I already feel like more relaxed, and I feel like more.
Well, this is
back
your
into
personality. This is Lincoln's space, Lincoln's domain.
Yeah.
Of course, you feel at home.
100%.
And I was just saying, I feel like I'm back at Comic-Con, which is really interesting. But I'm just going to get distracted by, like, all the movies that I love and quote often.
Everything on the wall.
The Wedding Singer.
Oh, I know. Oh, do I have The Wedding Singer on the wall?
do.
I do, yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah, look at that.
I forever love that.
Okay, that Billy Madison tape, I think it's like a preview copy, so it doesn't even have the actual like Billy Madison cover.
We're collecting rare VHSs now.
I am. And I got that in Victoria.
Wow.
And I got
How did it get all the way up there?
So, there's actually a few preview tapes in this mix that I got from Victoria.
Actually, was that one of the places you took me when we ran into each other in Victoria?
Yes.
We went into some couple little nerd stores that were awesome.
And I got those tapes the time that I had been there before. I think what happened is somebody who worked in the film industry was getting, or somebody who owned a video store or something like that, was getting like these preview tapes and these like Oscar tapes and stuff like that. And then when they passed away, it all just wound up in this like thrift shop in Victoria. So like, I think that's what happened. And it was like,
you've given it some background story.
I mean, I kind of had to.
The journey of this VHS.
Well, because like, how else is it going to wind
here.
up in a thrift shop in Victoria, right?
And now center stage in your lovely podcast room.
100%. Well, and I wonder too,
journey.
for like, I know for tapes that I bought myself, which of this collection, there's not a lot. Like that Extreme Days tape, I bought that myself. That Chasing Amy, I don't know where I bought that, but like there's a Mallrats tape in here that I randomly found at a dollar store one day for like $2, brand new.
Meant to be in the package.
Oh yeah, it was sealed and everything, and I was like, oh yeah, that's mine. So I know where that tape went, store to me. But there's some tapes in here where it's like where did you what was your life like before you wound up in my collection? You know, like who watched you and how many?
I think that's the fun part of collecting, is like somehow these things have wound up to you. Like I just collect weird stuff at home. Like if I go to Value Village and I find like a weird hand carved, obviously one of a kind, somebody's art that managed, I'm like, I need this. This is weird. Like things that like tweak that little your interest. Like
yeah,
that.
you like weird stuff for sure. And I dig that about you, because when we were in Victoria, that's what you were on the hunt for, was just like weird.
Give me the weird shit.
Yeah, you want weird
stuff that has a story.
Yeah.
Actually, since I saw you, I just did like a little 5-week road trip around the southern states in a big loop and came back, and I collected some weird ass stuff. I was in Jerome, Arizona, and I found a kaleidoscope store that is like, you know, we all have like our little
full-on kaleidoscope
like
store,
high-end kaleidoscopes that are made out of like stained glass, and they come with little plates that you spin that have like flowers, like fresh flowers and crystals on them, and you spin it. And I'm like, these are for rich people who do mushrooms. Because some of them are like, you know, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Like, these were crazy.
5,000.
Oh,
I
they're
thought
like
you were going to say 100.
Handcrafted. I just like accidentally fell into adult kaleidoscope fanatic store. I got myself like a tiny one. I was like, you know, the like $50 one. And I was like, I'm going to be a kaleidoscope person now.
Okay.
So sometimes when I'm home, you know, and then you just like, ooh, look at stuff around your house in a kaleidoscope. My lava lamp.
Ooh,
it's fun.
That
I was
is
like,
fun.
the collection of stuff that I got, like, I met an artist in LA who, like, coincidentally through a friend of a friend, my friend had a piece by him that was sitting in his office that you know, kind of like this, where it's like your space that you're surrounded with all the things you love. But I gravitated to this weird jar filled with like stuff and like murky yellow water. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Right.
He's like, oh, it's my spell. I'm like, say again? Say again?
Okay.
My interest is, I'm fully torqued right now.
Like, you've piqued my interest.
And I was in LA for like a little shy of 2 weeks, I think, or like 10 days.
Yeah, you were there for a while.
Yeah. Just visiting some really good friends. And they managed somehow to hook me up with the artist who made that. I was like, I gotta know. I'm gonna have to like link this and show you because it's very hard to describe. Like when you say spell, it's like somebody making an incantation or something. It's like, no, these are beautiful, like fine art pieces that he makes. And like you can, like he had galleries in New York and Europe and LA and stuff. And he'd even done like I think an installation or a performance at the Getty Museum in LA, which is like,
okay.
I mean, the Getty just sounds
well, yeah,
like the tippy top. But yeah, I was lucky enough to meet him in person. Got the little hookup. We went for coffee, and like his energy was so wild, and I just like loved everything that he said about how he likes to make his art intuitively and stuff. And he ended up making a spell for me that I actually have to go back down to LA and pick up because it's going to be like 100 pounds.
Whoa.
But in the meantime, we got along so great. He's like, can I please send you like a little one? Like just, you know, because you have to wait to get your big one. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, like of course.
Yes, I'll take a tiny spell.
Yeah, of course.
So now I have one living at my station in the studio, and it's so cute. It's like a little glass jar. It's got like paintbrushes and dice and seashells and like odd things
in it in a liquid.
Yeah, totally.
That's weird.
So yeah, when I say I like to collect weird stuff, I mean it's a beautiful piece of art, and like I can't wait to see the big one that was like made special, like a commission.
Yeah, especially if it's going to be 100 pounds. That's ridiculous.
I'm gonna have to get like a plinth for it or something.
I liked when you were like in like area, not like Roswell or whatever. Like,
oh, well, that was actually the beauty of my last trip is like I picked up friends. I have a friend living in LA. Her and I just picked her up, went to Joshua Tree, shot over to Phoenix, had like a really fun time, and then she just flew home. And it was like her little weekend chunk of my big trip, and we had a blast.
Right.
And then I picked up another pal of mine in Albuquerque, and we went and visited a friend of ours who just moved back to Santa Fe. My first time in Santa Fe. Santa Fe blew my mind. I had no like preconceived notions of what Santa Fe would be other than like
New Mexico?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was like the most charming, beautiful, like stylish town.
Really?
Yeah, they have a law where you can only build like Adobe style buildings, which is like
okay, that kind
I'm
of
not the person to tell you all about it, but
no,
it's cute as fuck.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah, I picked him up in Albuquerque, went and visited there, shot down to Roswell, which is a place I feel like you would love.
Oh, 100%.
Everyone was like, don't go there. All our Santa Fe friends, like, why would you go? It's cheesy. It's
that's
like,
the point.
I'm like, yeah, that's why.
You have an alien sticker on the back of your vehicle.
It's the only sticker that I've ever put on a bumper because I'm like, I rock this so hard.
Did you get it in Roswell?
Of course I did.
Okay, yeah.
I got a little hat, and like, it doesn't seem so cheesy so far away, but if you were in Roswell and everything's like, alien themed cafe,
Yeah.
people would have been like, you just bought that and wore that.
Yeah,
but
of course.
here it's like, ooh, where did you get that?
Yeah, where did you get that? That makes a lot
Alien merch.
Yeah, exactly. No, I love that, and I love. As soon as you rocked up today, I was like, she got that in Roswell. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like, it's so nice to like for myself take a huge chunk of time off work, which I learned that I could do over COVID. Like, being your own boss, you can tweak your own schedule. I feel like a lot more people identify with that kind of lifestyle,
100%.
like nowadays. And yeah, you can totally do it where you tweak your schedule to fit like a giant vacation.
I'm listening.
But I just thought you need me to stop.
No. I'm listening, and I feel like, yeah,
I still feel
No, I'm still listening. I think I'm fucking this up, honestly.
You sound completely fine, I promise.
Okay, good. Cuz like
maybe turn your volume off so you don't hear the echoes.
No, but like I upped my mic, now I sound better to myself. So I'm wondering like, yeah, fuck. I keep derailing the podcast cuz it's
such a new setup.
Well, it sucks because like I don't want to derail what you're cuz I really 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 want to hear all about your trip and everything that you went on, and I'm not trying to derail that. I just get like
production quality.
I know, and it's like this is like the second episode, so I'm like, the first one I felt like audio wise it went really good, and I didn't.
Do you want to like hear like playback?
No. I know it'll be fine.
Okay.
I know it'll be fine, and it's just like I thought audio wise it went really good, and I wasn't like having any problems, and then now I'm sitting here and I'm like, why am I hearing this? Like, what am I hearing? And like, and so I'm just getting too far up in my head.
Get out of there, Lincoln.
I know.
Get out of your head and into a truck in the southern states.
I know.
Cruising around interviewing people.
I would love to do that actually. I thought about that where I'm like, because that's another thing I thought about where I'm like, random people all over the place have so many good stories of just like random and like people
are interesting.
People are super interesting, especially in places where they don't like even in small towns like where they never leave, they still have like really interesting stories about crazy shit that's happened to them or like shit that they've just made up, whatever. But
I was getting gas in some tiny town that literally was like a convenience store and a gas station.
Yeah.
And this person I saw from a little far away, I was like, what the fuck is that? And it was like two tall spires that seemed to be made out of hubcaps, like 2 floors taller than any other building in this tiny little like hamlet.
Okay, this is like straight up like Leatherface shit. Like that's like horror movie
It didn't
stuff.
give me. Well, actually, yeah, I'll send you a video later. But there was like 2 very angry protective dogs outside, so I didn't get to go up or anything. But I just drove by and I was just like, it was truly like a man-made. It was more like probably some very creative hippie guy making his own castle in, I don't know, like I forget where I was, like middle of Colorado or something.
Maybe I'm just implementing the horror element on top of it.
Because you want it so bad to be the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, I just want it to be like, well, or like Jeepers Creepers or something like it. Just what I'm picturing in my head has like the production quality of a horror film and what it probably actually was. Like as soon as you said hippie, I was like, oh
yeah.
Okay,
I feel like if you're going to be like mass murdering people, you wouldn't make your house so flashy. And
I was gonna say probably
attention
all of a sudden
drawing.
I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that now
bad
I know
strategy.
what it looks. Really bad strategy. Or the best strategy because now you're hiding in plain sight.
It has been done before, I'm sure.
Okay, tell me more about your trip.
Oh.
Tell me, like, so what... Because I remember, like, in the Lost episode, we had talked about... You had told me that you were going on this trip.
It was like a week or 2 before I left, I think.
It wasn't... I don't know if it was that close, but it was pretty close. You were like, yeah, I'm going on this, like, big, long excursion or whatever. And it's kind of funny because, like, looking back at that episode, I think you and I were both in kind of like a...
Funk.
Not even like a funk. We were just like
I was in a funk.
You were in a, yeah. You were, you had just, like, your relationship had just ended, and, like, it probably wasn't, because you had to cancel on me, like, the first time, because that had happened.
A few times. I was like, I'm not talking to you when I'm heartbroken.
Well, there was a couple times. Well, I'm glad you're not,
camera?
I'm sorry, I'm glad you're not heartbroken anymore. You don't, yeah, you're too pretty to be heartbroken. But no, it just we both were like in a weird place.
Yeah.
And then as soon as like when you got back and you watched that 15-minute video I put out like a few weeks ago, you messaged me and you were like, "What?
What the?"
You were like, "What happened?" And what? And like, let's record a new episode because I feel so much better about life after my trip and all that.
Honestly.
And I was like, "That's good to know." Like, I'm super happy about that.
Like I thought that it just felt right that we would redo it in this like cool ass space, and yeah, this feels good. I'm glad we're redoing it because honestly,
it's not even like a redo. It's just a whole new. It's a whole new episode. Like it's just
true.
New show, new me, new you.
New year, new me.
Pretty much.
But honestly, the whole trip was kind of just like a reset button. Because I think all of us feel a little downtrodden, and if you weren't one of the people who was like, you know, traveling during the pandemic or anything like that, like if you feel affected, which I mean, who doesn't? But I don't know, getting out there and remembering that the world is cool and fun and interesting is like, oh my God, that's just what everybody needs in one way or another. It doesn't have to be a ginormous road trip. Just, I think even for people getting back to their favorite restaurants and stuff is like, oh yeah, like we're all breathing deep for the first time in so long. Right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, one of the things for me was hockey games.
That was
one of my things where I was like, okay,
life is good again.
yeah. Where I was like, all right.
This is
things is getting a little better.
You had that Saddle Dome heroin beer, Touch Your Lips.
Rogers Place.
Sweet. Is it not called Saddle Dome anymore?
No, I'm an Oilers fan, and I've been going to Edmonton for games all year. Yeah, I went to 9 Oilers games this year.
Jesus Christ. Okay, you traveled for your. Did they have the equivalent, like the gross old pipe?
No, it's there. They have the brand new
beer?
arena.
Oh, new pipe beer.
So they're not. There's no heroin beer. Yeah, is that? I mean, I feel
like that's just local legend.
I
like
literally talk about hockey and the fucking whether it's the Saddle Dome or the Oilers or something every podcast, but no, that is kind of the local legend. Is that heroin beer is heroin beer because the pipes have never been cleaned.
That's fermenting extra while
so there's like
down there.
Extra fermented beer like running through those pipes. So every time you get a draft beer at the Saddle Dome, you're just like, whoa.
And as someone who does not give a shit about hockey, not to yuck your yum, but it's all about the snacks and the drinks and the vibe of people who are way more excited about it than I am.
Yeah, I mean
that's fun.
Yeah, I mean if you're going to a hockey game and you don't give a shit about what's happening on the ice, yeah, you got to have good snacks and good drinks. So.
That foot-long hot dog that comes like in a baguette and they just drill a hole and put the hot dog inside.
Oh, the pocket dog.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, fair enough. They're not quite that long, but yeah.
I miss those though. Like as time has gone on, it just sounds bigger and bigger in my head. I
like pocket dogs too, but I wish they had more toppings. They only do ketchup, mustard, ranch, and cheese.
Now,
and I'm like, ugh.
As a hot dog connoisseur, self-proclaimed.
Okay, I will decide whether you're a hot dog connoisseur based on what you're about to tell me.
Okay, well, this is all about exploring my personal preferences, so I can't say I'm going to be like the Michelin star of hot dogs.
Interesting.
Michelin
I
star
like how she backtracked that really fast. She was like, as a hot dog connoisseur,
because I feel like you'll be disappointed by what I say.
These are personal preferences. Thank you.
Now, I'm more of like if you want to judge a dog, you know?
Okay.
It's got to be bare bones. It's got to be the stuff that you can get anywhere. It's got to be about the quality of the ingredients, the dog, the bun, and then ketchup, mustard, relish, so that there's more of a control over the experiment rather than, you know, because if you've got ones with fried eggs on top and stuff, that's gonna mask the dog.
No.
The bun.
Okay.
The core of the dog.
I am okay. I'm more on board with calling you a hot dog connoisseur because I, madam, am a hot dog connoisseur. You are 100%. You like relish?
I am a relish fan. Yes.
Perfect, because I don't trust people that don't like relish.
It's the three.
They're
sold in 3-packs, like picnic packs for a reason.
If you're somebody who is like, oh no, I want like mayo, I want like cheese sauce, even chili. Chili is, I think
Well,
chili,
a chili dog is just a different meal.
that's what I mean. Like chili dog is fine, whatever, as a chili dog. But I feel like that's a meal. If I'm going for a hot dog, yeah, and most of the time I'm not even putting ketchup on it. I'm putting mustard, relish, and chopped white onion.
Oh, even more bare bones.
Chopped white onion,
Is
and
that
then
called, okay, forgive me. Is that called like a Chicago style dog with the onions?
no, like, well, I it might be close.
I just remember because I actually tattooed one of those on a
Yep.
woman once. She was from Chicago, moved to Calgary, and was like, I need to remember my home.
So a Chicago dog, actually, a true Chicago dog, I believe, actually has cucumbers on it, not more like, and it's like, yeah, like it could have like slices of cucumber or like a cucumber.
Curious?
Yeah, like a cucumber relish, not like a sweet green relish like we like.
Well, I gotta. Do we just say where our favorite hot dogs come from at the exact same time, so we don't have time to judge the other person?
Okay, ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Orange
Nathan's.
Julius.
Wow. What? Okay. So like, wait.
Nathan's, all right.
Okay, so I love that we're breaking down hot dogs right now. This is amazing. This is actually
This is my passion.
This is, oh my God. Honestly, I would eat hot dogs every day for the rest of my life.
And then
and I can't.
wind up with scurvy or something.
Carissa, my health and wellness coach, she would kill me. She'd be like, what are you doing? Like, that's not nutritional.
It's not. But what's life if you don't eat some non-nutritional stuff once in a while?
Well, it's like what she's taught me. She's like 75%.
I want to hear the backup of the Nathans, though. What
Oh,
about?
I'm getting there.
Okay,
I want to hear the
okay.
backup of the Orange Julius.
Oh,
What's going on there?
I got backup.
Okay.
Quality. I gotta say, the dog itself, girthy,
But-
pleasant, nice little crunchy thing it's in.
Yeah, it's
like
got
the casing.
Yeah, they got the snap of the casing when you
They
bite into
steam
it.
the buns, and it's like good old just white bread bun.
100%.
It's like the perfect combo. That's the thing is most cheap dogs, like you go to IKEA, I get the two dogs, and I put the 2 little dogs in one bun because it's the bun to dog ratio is whack. So Orange Julius, points for a girthy dog.
She likes a girthy dog.
And a really soft, tasty bun. You
hear
gotta
that?
try it. Next
You
time
hear
you're at
that,
the mall.
ladies? She likes a soft, tasty bun, and fellas, she loves a girthy dog. Wow.
The bisexual conundrum.
Oh, that is bi tattoo artist energy all over the place.
I've exposed myself.
Your hot dog explanation is so bisexual. It's not even
Can
funny.
we correlate hot dog preferences with sexual preferences? Probably.
Yo, yeah, 100%.
Probably.
But hot dogs are I would say that hot dogs are the most bisexual food. Wouldn't you say?
I
The
mean,
bun
yeah,
and the
they
dog.
got both.
Yes.
Feminine, masculine energy.
There
They're
is a female and a male end that are married. It is a bisexual food.
It truly is.
You heard it here first. The hot dog is the most bisexual food. I love that.
I want to know what the most pansexual food is, though. Just think about it for later.
Hamburgers. I don't know. No, I kind of want to open like a hot dog place that is like called like buy something, or it could just be called buy.
Everything is a restaurant idea now.
Everything is a restaurant idea, which we won't talk about the other one because if that one
won't.
actually happens, I don't want to leak that. Okay. What's okay?
Okay, back up Nathan's.
No,
though.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Because that's my whole thesis on the Julius.
Orange
dog.
Julius, interesting. I'm just trying to. Well, I'm trying to think if I don't know if I've ever had a hot dog from Orange Julius,
Well,
and I'm curious where they get their hot dogs from.
I honestly spent like a year and a half with a friend of mine and every time we'd go anywhere and see a hot dog on a menu, we had to order it. So, like, we did the legwork to
Right.
find the obscure dogs because Nathan's, that's what they're famous for.
Did you go to the hot dog place in Victoria? Did we do
I don't
that together?
think
No, I think
so.
no, because you know what? I went and did it with Miles and Krista, and you had
I had to go to my sister's wedding.
you had to go to your sister's wedding, but you and Janine bombed off to go do your own thing.
Oh,
That's what it
we
was.
did the little
Yeah.
beautiful boat tour around the harbor and just like sat in the sun and
Yeah,
Zenned
that's what
out.
you did. So that night after you, Krista, and I had hung out, Miles is gonna hate this because he's gonna be like, the name of the place is this, but I can't remember the name of it.
But we were on a picnic table overlooking like the sunset. That was nice.
Yeah.
You talking about dinner that night?
No, because we went to the hot dog place that night.
Oh,
this was after we had left you.
The next day.
Yeah, it was the next
Lincoln
day.
and I randomly were vacationing in the same place at the same time last year.
Victoria, British Columbia.
That was cool.
It was amazing.
It was a cool.
It was an amazing trip. And you know what? Actually, like the fact that we had like randomly run into each other actually worked out so well.
Oh, and then we got to walk around and be tourists together.
You were just like, I was going to hang out by myself, but now I have like two people to hang out. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Nathan's hot dogs are probably by far the tasty. I love a good Costco hot dog because A, the price is right, and B, they steam those as well. The buns are pretty steamy as well. I love the Costco buns and the Costco hot dogs. For $1.50, that is probably like a top 5 hot dog.
So it beats out IKEA in the cheap dog
department. 100% it does. Because their 99-cent hot dogs, like you say, are too small.
That 50 cents goes a long way.
Or is it 50 cents?
If the Costco's $1.50 and IKEA's 99 cents.
Okay.
50% budgeting.
Yeah, you're correct. But I'm a bun guy, so with the IKEA ones,
you are a straight man.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far.
It's a spectrum.
It's a spectrum, and we don't need to get into that today.
I appreciate it.
But yeah, I don't need to out myself today.
You just did, bro.
Well, maybe a little. Like you said, it's a spectrum. Yeah. God damn it. Now Sam's curious, and so am I. No, I like bread, right? So I don't mind the extra bunnage on like the IKEA hot dogs, but I'm not like, I wouldn't even put IKEA hot dogs in my top 5.
No, same.
Like they're
you
just
go when you're hangry and you just have to go.
Well,
you have to go home and put some shit together. You gotta.
Yeah, but even then, like even if I'm at IKEA, I'm never at IKEA buying something thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna grab a hot dog on the way out. Because I actually don't like them that much.
I always get the snacks before I shop.
That's probably a good way to do it, because then you're not angry the whole time you're walking through.
Yeah.
I don't even walk through IKEA. I go in through the exit doors and go right to grabbing the shit and leaving. That's what I do.
That's psycho shit.
No, it's not. That's the best way to do it.
The best part of IKEA is walking around and being like, ooh, sitting in the chairs.
So Costco would probably have, in terms of a hot dog, they would probably have like they would probably have my second spot.
Oh, next to Nathan's.
Next to Nathan's, because when we were younger, they used to have the toppings.
Like do it yourself?
Yeah, they used to have banana peppers. They used to have onions. They used to have like all the things that you could take the bun and like do it. They haven't had that for years. All they have now is they have those stupid squirt things where it's literally mustard, ketchup, and like the squirt relish. And it's like not the good relish. It's the Heinz.
The watery relish?
Yeah, I guess. It's like I mean, I love relish, so I'm still going to eat it.
It's still a pickle. But
it's not as good. And so, is that my fucking phone? Is that her trying to call me?
You hear stuff?
Yeah, I hear. Okay, that's going over there because I think it's like affecting the cord. I can hear. Can you hear it clicking in the headphones?
Not at all.
Okay, another edit point to cut shit out. Yeah. No, the fact that Costco doesn't have that anymore is like a huge bummer, and it really drives down the quality of those hot dogs
and the rating
and the
Michelin star of hot dog.
It takes them from a 4.5-star hot dog down to a 3, in my opinion. Oh yeah, it's a pretty. If Nathan's a 5-star hot dog for me, yeah, Costco was like a 3-star hot dog.
I appreciate that.
So Nathan's are grilled on the flat top. Okay, they are, in my opinion, probably the best seasoned hot dogs. They are big. They are girthy. They do have that
love
nice
that.
snap when you bite into them.
A must.
With some hot dogs, the problem is that, you know, I don't know if you've ever found this. We are really over analyzing and breaking down hot dogs. This is fucked. There are some hot dogs, when you bite into them, they taste too processed, like too
You
synthetic.
can really taste the butthole.
Yeah, where it's like, okay, this is the pork that's in this is like, yikes. And then I prefer an all beef hot dog. What about you?
I don't even pay attention. I'm like, truly, maybe I'm not the best person to be handing out ratings because I
I
don't
was
even.
gonna say, like, what
A
kind
dog's
of
a dog.
what kind of a connoisseur are you if you don't even know the difference between a pork dog and a all beef hot dog,
I think I'm more just
or like a mixture?
exploring the actual experience of the dog rather than dissecting.
Oh, interesting.
Because you know what? You start dissecting where the dogs come from, you're going to end up in a dark place.
That's probably where I am.
Yeah, I had a pet snake years and years ago.
Where is this going?
Pokey the python, so cute.
I love snakes.
Pokey, it was so nice. Pokey went to go live with my friend's daughter after a while because I was actually given it as a gift. And who does that? I did love him, but the little girl who took him loved him more.
Okay.
And was going to buy a snake anyway. So I was like, here, have this snake
Have a snake.
for free. And little Pokey ate like a little pinky mouse every once in a while.
Yep.
And I'd buy them frozen, you know, keep them in the freezer.
Yep.
And thaw them up. And sometimes I'd forget to thaw it. So I was like, Pokey deserves a warm meal. Maybe I should microwave this mouse.
Oh my god.
It smelled exactly like hot dogs. Exactly.
Oh no.
But you know, I am not a snob with food. I like experimental food. I love, you know, I've eaten guinea pigs in Peru. I don't discriminate with meat. I think humans shouldn't waste things. And especially, yeah, if you're going to eat meat, don't waste it. So
I'm horrified.
even if I consciously knew it was actually made out of mice, I'd still eat it.
Okay.
I lost you.
No, maybe a little bit. I don't know that I could do that.
Eat a mouse?
No.
You're
I don't
gonna be
know.
fucked in the apocalypse, bro.
Oh, I already know that. It's so funny. Like, there's been more and more of that, like, coming up lately where, they're like, oh, in the apocalypse, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that's always one of those things where you're kind of like, you're always a little bit more, maybe not cocky's not the right word, but you're just like, I'd be fine. And then you actually start to like look at some of the stuff that people are like posting and where they're like, well, I saw a thing actually where people were like, oh yeah, like we as the human race should be like eating bugs.
Dude, cricket protein.
Yes, exactly.
You know what? That is something you should do when you're in LA. Go to, what's that grocery store called? Erewhon?
I have no idea.
Fancy grocery store.
Do they sell cricket protein?
They have like little cricket protein bars. They're good. You can definitely feel like the little crunch.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd lump bugs in with except for spiders. I couldn't consciously eat a spider unless it was like powder, like a powdered spider protein. I'd eat that, but I couldn't look at it and crunch it.
No, like a scorpion though? Could you?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah. I always thought that I'd be like really good at Fear Factor.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a pretty I'm a pretty feral person. I could just do the gross stuff.
That's
okay
fair.
with that.
Cricket, like if the cricket protein was like in something else, like if it was like, you know.
You don't think you could just like crunch a dried cricket with some seasoning on it?
I don't know.
You don't know till you try.
I know. I might have to try that one day. I'm going to have to.
If that's the way the world is going, if we have some like global food shortage.
Yeah, well, and like I wouldn't be surprised based on the way that some of these companies operate.
No longevity.
Well, it's not even that. I feel like they would just breed scarcity to drive up profits.
Oh, now this
Isn't that fucking scary?
Yeah.
Because think about how many people.
I mean, that is maybe the case with the glove situation. Like for tattooing, we go through 10,000 gloves. And of course, at the beginning of the pandemic, there's a shortage of gloves because people are double gloving. Hospitals are crazy. They're using so many.
Yeah,
We
but
use
you
the
guys also
same.
weren't working at that time too, weren't you? Or were you still?
I mean, on a global level, like, I'm
Oh,
sure.
yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, it's different for everyone, but it's been 2 years. I've noticed new glove companies popping up. Like, people were like, "Ooh, we got to get into this market," but there was like a global shortage of nitrile gloves, and they used to be $10 a box. Now you're paying like $30 a box.
Actually?
And the prices have not gone down, and I'm like, the fuck,
Oh,
guys? So if you
shit.
notice, like, a lot of tattooers have raised their prices because literally everything has gotten more expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like even, you know, with things chilling out a little
Yeah.
bit, at least in our collective consciousness, yeah, things are never going to get cheaper because they know that we will pay it because we need these things. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's the unfortunate thing about, well, that's kind of what we've seen.
Food is something different though, like something you need to live. Like, that would be
Yeah, but it's not a basic human right. It's not treated like a basic human right, which is
even with
fucked.
food banks and stuff.
I mean, but food banks are filled based on the goodwill of
Other
people.
citizens.
So like if you and I were not filling the food banks, they would not get filled because there's no way to profit off of them. Companies, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
companies, that's the
Shareholders.
what?
Not the shareholders.
Well, exactly. Yeah, everything comes down to like profits and shareholders, and like, so like you look at the 5 fucking people that like are like bag holding like all the money in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the dude who just bought Twitter
Oh yeah,
for like
I honestly
44 billion dollars.
he's like
purely
chump change.
Well, yeah, purely just he's the richest man in the world, and he has been for a while because he's like almost, isn't he almost like 300 billion?
Honestly,
We all stop. That's
I
the thing.
stopped paying attention.
Yeah, we gotta stop paying attention for sure. But it still is important stuff because it's kind of like, okay, like buying Twitter's one thing. You have
Twitter's important because we make it important.
For
if
sure.
we don't give a fuck about Twitter, Twitter stops being.
Of course, it's
Yeah.
like it'll go the way of MySpace. It'll go the way of Nexopia. Like, I bet, you know, once people stop
The
you,
way of Nexopia.
Well,
What was your Nexopia
it'll
handle?
go. Oh my god, I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head.
No?
It was like XX_. I'm so fucking key.
You
I don't
were
fucking.
so hard when
I
you
was
were 15
so.
years old.
I don't know. I don't,
Nexopia is like, was a very Albertan. There was a little bit of bleed out into BC and Saskatchewan, I feel like. Like,
it was worldwide. What are you talking?
No, Nexopia was an Albertan social media.
What?
Yes. A lot of, like, people outside of Alberta who don't know what Nexopia is, it was like mini MySpace just for, minus the music, like.
What the fuck?
Had a
Really?
little personal, yeah, 100%.
Oh, so if I went to somebody in the States and I was like, "Hey, what was your Nexopia thing?" They would have no idea what the fuck I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's funny you don't realize you're in a bubble when you're in the bubble.
I guess.
The bubble of Nexopia. But that was a crazy time.
Weird.
Yeah, we were very lucky to have this weird little, like, I made
'Cause
friends off Nexopia because
that's
I
what-
was from Okotoks, like rural girl,
Yeah.
makes friends with people in the city without having a car, which is nice.
Yeah, that's fair. Krista talks all the time about how she's like, "Yeah, I made a whole bunch of friends on Nexopia," and I'm like, "How?"
In the forums, bro.
I guess. I don't remember it that much. Like, I didn't know how to, like, a lot of people learned how to code on Nexopia and like
Actually,
learned how to.
TBH, I was not much of a forum person. It was more like you go to a party and then you recognize somebody's,
Mm.
or you tell each other, you know, the way you would an Instagram handle sometimes if you wanted to see somebody's
Totally.
presence online. We've been doing that way longer than other people, I think, because we had that so early.
That's crazy. I didn't know it was. Are you sure it was an Albertan
I
thing?
promise you.
Wow, that's weird.
Like,
I did not.
There's people in Vancouver. I know people in Saskatchewan and stuff who had it, but I don't think it had very much reach.
Wow.
Blow your little mind.
Yeah, you did. No, so going back to the Twitter thing, it's important because Elon Musk buys Twitter for $44 billion. Okay. Then on the flip side of that, you have all these people. You have people that are like, "Yay, he bought Twitter because he's saving our freedom of speech," right? That's what a lot of people like, because that's what his whole guys.
You're explaining this to me in the for the first time, I truly
Okay.
haven't paid attention.
Fair enough. So Elon Musk, the whole guise of it was like, it's all freedom of speech. And basically he's like, I'm buying Twitter so that I can just like, you can post whatever the fuck you want without fear of being like blocked on Twitter or like having your Twitter account taken away, because President Trump had his Twitter account taken away. So I don't know if this is a thing where he's going to like own Twitter and then give Trump back his like Twitter account or whatever the fuck.
Speculation.
I don't know. I don't even know if that is speculation. I would assume that there's people that are like, oh, he's doing the Lord's work and then Trump's coming back. Anyway, then there's all these people that are decrying it, going like, $44 billion to buy a company. Like, you could have solved world hunger with that money, blah, blah, blah. And there's all that.
There are better things to be done.
There are better things to be done, but it's like, that's not the point. The point is that, sure, that the richest man in the world, absolutely, he could solve world hunger.
But he's a meme lord. He wants to own Twitter.
He doesn't give a fuck. He wants to own Twitter for sure. But it's like, why aren't all these other rich people and all these like countries, and why are we not all working together to solve world hunger?
Because
why are we
power
making
corrupts? Absolutely.
Exactly. So why
Social
is it
studies grade 9.
so what people are doing, so the way I look at it personally is people are going, oh, it's like, you have all the money in the world, it's your fault that you're not solving world hunger.
When it's a systemic problem.
Exactly. It's like, no, this is kind of a problem that we all need to like work together to figure out. It's not just Elon Musk's problem because he has all the fucking money. Sure, I'm sure the dude donates to charity all the time because, well, it's a tax benefit to donate to charity. It really is. But it's not necessarily on him to solve the problems.
And it shouldn't be down to like an individual, right? But I mean, that's a whole.
But you hit the nail on the head. It's systemic. The problem is the system is geared towards not
individualism, and
there's like more people on the street, hungry people on the street in the States than there are like in some countries.
Actually, that was something I noticed big time. Maybe less so here because you couldn't survive outside as much. Definitely not in the winter.
It definitely gets more prevalent in the summer with people outside. But
oh, I just mean, no, for the States, like their equivalent of Crown land is like BLM land. And that's
what's
what
BLM?
Something and land management something. It's like, it's their like free land that's for the citizens. Like anybody can use it however they'd like Crown land.
Not the True North Strong and Free. It's the patriotic and...
I mean, I don't know the last time you went camping in Crown Land, but it was pretty last time I was there. You ever go out to McLean Creek and it's like...
Well, yeah, there's like...
Wild West of...
Okay, did you ever watch fucking How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I was just talking about that because I have become... oh my God, what's the character's name? Barney. I'm Barney. I'm
You're
an adult
Barney?
Who loves laser tag.
Oh, that's not where I thought that...
That's the best way to be Barney. You don't want to be Barney in the other ways.
I thought you were just hitting on younger women, and
that's the only way I'm like Barney. But seriously, catch me in a suit. I'm the Birda Boy.
Can we go play laser tag then?
Dude, I got some free passes.
Oh, fuck yeah. We're going to go play laser tag.
Let's do it up.
I'm down.
It's changed since we were kids, too. There's more rules. It's like way more fun.
Sweet.
Yeah.
No, the reason I bring up How You Met Your Mother is because one of the funniest things about How I Met Your Mother is Robin, the Canadian on the show. They always...
The gif of her in the Canada song?
Oh, like, let's go to the mall. Yeah. Robin Sparkle. She was in Calgary like a couple days ago.
Was she?
She might still be in Calgary. I don't know. I would assume that she's here shooting something. Because she was down by, like, off Stephen Ave or something. I don't... Anyway.
You spotted her.
No, it was on her... She posted it on her Instagram.
Oh.
And somebody posted it on Reddit. And I was like, oh, shit, Robin Sparkles is here. Anyway. On that show, I thought it was very ironic that the Canadian character is portrayed as this, like... whiskey drinking, like gun toting gun nut. You know what I mean? On the show.
We got gun nuts?
We got gun nuts for sure, but I would say that in the States it's a lot worse.
Well, policies are different and people are a lot more like emotionally attached to their guns, I feel like. It's part of their identity.
I don't know.
But anybody I know who's like owns a lot of guns here, it's more like, yeah, they're in the basement. whatever.
That's kind of, yeah, that's what I,
Like,
yeah.
like,
That's the same experience for me.
whereas you go down there and they're like, this is my fucking gun.
Well, you go to Texas and it's like open carry and there's just dudes with like holsters on their hips. And like, I've never been either, but I know that they have open carry laws. So like you can go into like stores and there'll be dude with like guns and he's like,
actually, I thought Arizona was going to be more like that. And actually I did meet somebody who had a gun and I was like, this is new.
See, but that's a weird, that is a weird feeling when you're in, it's like in certain places in the States where you're just like, I wonder who in this, like, because
who's carrying?
some states have concealed carry laws where they can like have them under their jackets and stuff. And you're just like, who in here has a fucking gun right now? But no, I just thought it was funny that like the Canadian character is the one that has like all the they're like, you know what I mean?
They're in New York City though.
Yeah, I guess. I've shot guns. I don't own any. I don't have my gun. Krista has her gun license, I guess. I'm not
She'll protect your house.
Well, if she had a gun, yes, she would. Can't really protect the house with a gun license.
Stop.
I have a gun license.
But yeah, like I'm not like a gun nut. It's not like guns aren't like they're not like,
maybe it's like, you know how kids, if you're raised to like never eat candy, or your parents never let you experiment with drinking or something when you're a kid, it's so much more like, I need this.
So you're Amish, and then you're all of a sudden on Rumspringa, and you're just...
Well, you know how everybody, as soon as they turn 18, if they had never like had a drink before, they just go absolutely mental and get like alcohol poisoning.
Oh yeah.
Like maybe it's the same with guns. Somebody threatens your gun rights, and you're like, I need these. They're my gun rights. But it's like, I actually believe that like people should have guns. Obviously, like I think it's fine under, you know, a lot of regulation and background checks, and that stuff's valid and important. But like, yeah, gun rights need to be a thing.
Well, yeah. I feel like it definitely needs to be, I don't know, more regulated. It's not a thing that like we necessarily need to get super heavily into.
Oh,
but it's like,
no, I'm not trying to have a hot take on it. It's just
no.
I think like honestly the way we do it here, like guns are not something I worry about in America on a day-to-day basis. But then in Canada, I don't worry about it.
No.
But then you see the stats on mass shootings in the States, and you're like, y'all are doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Like we got guns and we're...
Well, and then you look at Australia. Like Australia had a problem with guns, and then they banned
sorted
them.
it. Yeah,
they fucking banned them. They did that Simpsons thing. That's that like Treehouse of Horror episode where like they took all the guns in the town and they put it in like the smelter and just like melted them all into this like giant. Have you ever seen that one?
One giant gun.
Well, it's just like it's just like a ball of guns or whatever,
yeah.
and then what is it, Billy the Kid and some other cowboys like come back from the dead, and all of a sudden they've like taken over the town because like it's on his gravestone that it says like, I wish for a world without guns, and then Lisa takes that and like they get rid of all the guns, and it's only because he wanted to have the only guns in town so they could take it over. I don't know. That's kind of what Australia did.
Oh shit!
Except that there was no Billy the Kid to take over Australia.
Well, I've never been. I don't know what the vibe over there is about.
I would say that Australia's pretty fucking chill. Like, cigarettes.
From experience or like?
No. I've never been there. I know like their minimum wage is like super fucking. It's like
$18.
I think it's like 25. Like it's crazy. Cigarettes cost like $45 a pack because they're like, nobody here should be smoking. So they like they might even be like $50 or $60 a pack now. Like the cigarette prices are crazy over there.
Do you smoke?
No, I quit.
Oh, good for you.
I smoked for like 15, 16 years. Yeah.
Crazy.
Like not and like yeah, I mean not like pack a day heavy, but I mean like I was a smoker. Like I smoked, and you know that cuz like tattooing me, I would go for smoke breaks and stuff.
Oh. I erased that out of my memory.
No, that's fair. I quit January of 2021. So, yeah, I'm like just over like a year, almost a year and a half now that I've been quit.
Good for you. And that was your COVID project, eh?
I just quit cold turkey. I just stopped.
Was it difficult?
Very. It was like, it's one of the hardest things I've ever done. They say it's harder to quit than like heroin. And I remember the first week was fucking awful. It honestly felt like nothing in my life would ever be okay again. It felt like the world was seriously, because
Yeah.
I was sitting upstairs in my chair, and I had like body aches and like cold sweats, and just like, because your body's detoxing, right? So by the end of the first week, I hadn't had nicotine in like, that in a week. And so suddenly I'm putting my body into this, like, by the second week, I was like, it just got worse and worse. And my brother at that point had been quit for a while. And I remember he was probably like 2 years or 3 years quit. And I remember texting him just going like, does it get better? Like, because all I want to do right now is I want to have a cigarette to make myself feel better. Because I know
Do you ever try that like Champax stuff?
No, actually.
Lots of my friends have done that.
Yeah, and I had a bunch of friends that did Champix too.
Did they tell you about the nightmares?
Yes, that's exactly why I didn't do it, because I didn't want to deal with the nightmares.
Yeah.
And I figured.
I'm sorry, what did you say to your brother though? I cut you off.
Oh no. I just asked. I said, like, does it get any better? And he was like, he was very kind about it. He was just like very explicit. He was like, it does. He's like, you just have to ride it out. He said, I know it's not fun right now. I know. He's like, I know exactly what you're going through, because he's like, I went through it too. And he said, it does get better. And then, so I'd say by the end of the first month, it was like, I'd like watch a TV show, or I'd watch, like a hockey game or something. And then like in between periods or at the end of an episode, I'd be putting my lazy boy down to get up to go out and have a cigarette. And then I'd realize, oh, nope.
We don't do that anymore.
We don't do that anymore.
Not in this house.
Yeah. So then I'd be like, nope. And I'd be like, okay. So I'd have to like cognizantly remind myself, like, no, that's not part of what we're doing anymore. So I had to break myself of that habit. And then I would say like at like the 3-month mark, it was kind of like, it had gotten easier. I was like, okay, like this is, I'm not thinking about it every day. Whereas, probably up to a certain point, I was like, cigarettes were probably on my mind every day. But I was like, I felt better, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm not coughing as much. I don't have headaches constantly. Like I feel better, like physically. And then I'd say by 6 months, I wasn't even thinking about it anymore.
Awesome.
And I think in that 6-month period, I probably had
Probably felt like a long ass 6 months.
no, it actually, no. Maybe somewhat, but when you stop, like when you eliminate that from your, like habitually, once that kind of leaves and I stop thinking about it, it's just like, I'm no longer focused on you know what I mean? Like, it's just like the nicotine wasn't even a thing anymore. Like I just didn't, I wasn't focused on it. So now, like, especially now, like almost a year and a half out, I really don't fucking think about it.
Awesome.
It is actually weird to me that I used to smoke. That's what it's weird now. And it's weird that I smoked for so long too, because I always knew while I was smoking that there had to be an endpoint to it. I was like, there has to be an expiration date on this, because I cannot spend the rest of my life smoking, because it's just like,
you also have an expiration date and you want it to be long.
Yeah, ultimately that was, I think what I had hit was like, oh, like I feel at that time like better things were kind of happening with some stuff, and I made a decision. I was like, well, I'd like to be around to kind of enjoy some of the fruits of like the labor that I'm doing. Obviously none of that stuff panned out, but that's fine. It actually, I'm here now, and I'm making healthier choices now, where had I not taken the first step of, and it's all a journey, right? Like, it's not like the way a lot of things in life, like and some of the reasons why people fail things in their life too, is that they want instant gratification. Like we're human. We want instant gratification on a lot of things.
Feels good.
It absolutely does feel good, but it doesn't last. So a lot of things you got to work hard at, and you got to actually like strive for. So quitting smoking was one of those things where it was like, okay, I hit that 1 year mark, and it was like, all right, like I feel good. Like I cannot believe I actually managed to get it to because before that, I think the longest I had ever quit for was probably 6 days, maybe 7 days. And other than that, I probably had minimum 1 cigarette a day. If not, I don't think there was a single day where I only had 1 cigarette. I think it was like, you know, we're talking like 10, 15 on a big day.
So have you traded out this vice for a different vice?
Not in like a huge way. Because I was worried about that, where I was like, ooh, like I'm gonna get rid of smoking.
Energy's gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah, like all of a sudden I'm gonna turn it into like, you know,
gambling.
Yeah, I don't know. maybe like some of the stuff in the room, like the collection stuff.
Ah, yes.
But I think, yeah, when I was like quitting smoking, I did kind of like turn around and I bought a new car
with the money you saved.
Well, it's not like I really saved any money, because I was just like, well, I'm not spending the money on cigarettes every month, let's buy a car. So I bought a new car and kind of said that that's where the money was going, and then, you know,
kept spending more than that.
I could kind of buy a few things here or there, and I go, well, I don't smoke, and Chris is like, you can't use that for everything that you buy, and I'm like, okay, fair enough. She's like, you said that about the car, you can't say that about your fucking toys. And I'm like, please don't call them toys. They are collectibles
that happen to look and act and function like toys.
Yeah, they're adult collectibles.
I was at Comic-Con. I don't have toys collectible-y, but in my new apartment I have this like little arty, cool, like psychedelic room of like stuff that I just think is interesting.
I cannot wait to see your new house.
It's sparse in comparison. It's just like got weird little knickknacks that I like. But
okay, fair enough. I'm still stoked to see it.
Okay. It's got some personality at least. Where was I going with that?
I don't know. You have a psychedelic room of things you like that are cool. I have no idea where you're going.
What were you saying before? But you justifying things.
Oh, the toys. You were like, I don't have toys. Yeah.
I was like, do I become a toy person?
Yes.
An action figure toy person?
Yes.
I was like holding this little Geralt figure, like.
Oh, the Witcher one?
From the video game, not the show.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I know
is the moment where I become a toy person or not.
Did you buy it?
I put it down.
Oh, Sam. I know exactly.
I put it down.
I know. You know what? I'm not going to buy those figures because I haven't played The Witcher and I don't know anything about the show or the game, but I know exactly what figure you're talking about. And oh my God, I'm sure that company also made the fucking Princess Bride ones that are out right now. I did
see some Princess Bride ones.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same company.
That was cute.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? No. I'm going to stay. I want to keep with like finding weird stuff in weird places rather than, you know, getting something that is widely collectible, you know?
Fair enough.
Keep it niche.
Did you went to Artist Alley, obviously, in the Big Four at Comic Expo?
Okay, that was like the worst setup Comic-Con I've ever been to. There was no maps. You don't get a map?
Nope, there was nothing.
You have to memorize a map at a table, and then to me it just looked like those 2 rooms in the Big Four or the BMO. Is there more to it than that?
There was. Yeah, so you went into the Big Four, didn't you? You would have had to get your ticket because you had to go into the basement of the Big Four to get
Yeah, and there was like nobody really there when I got my tickets. I went in late at Saturday so I could see the hobbits talk.
Okay. Yeah. Did you go upstairs in the Big Four?
Nobody told me that was a thing.
Yeah, okay. So.
Oh, I'm so angry. Even that admissions place was like doors, 2 big signs that say admissions with arrows pointing on either way. So I was like, does that mean do I go in the doors? Do I go around the other side of the building?
I know.
Oh, they shit the bed. I wrote a
good because
in the survey.
There was also when I got there, because you have to, it's so stupid because there's no signs and they don't tell you about any of this. And especially with all the construction at the BMO, it's a fucking shit.
They turned the water fountains off, and it took like an hour to get water anywhere if they had water.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's
a shit show.
Yeah.
So
But what happened at Artist? Fill me in, because
Well,
I
I
would
will.
love to
So
see that.
when I
was
got
like,
there, I jumped in one of the lines that said like purchase, because I was going there on the Thursday. I only go on Thursday because it's like the least. I mean, I could
chill
go
day.
Sundays too, but yeah, it's the least chill day. And for the vendors, that's when they have the most stuff because it's the first day, right?
True. That's very smart.
So I'm looking for NECA figures, like the ones behind me. So I'm going like to see, and I found a couple, which was good. But I go and I jump in this line that says purchase, okay? And I waited for like two people. There was two groups in front of me, and like a family of like four, and then another guy, and then me. And I get up to the counter and I was like, cool, I'd like to purchase one ticket. And he was like, oh, you have to go to this, like the line next to me. And I was like,
it says purchase.
I literally, I looked at him. I was like, I was hungry at that point, and I was not having it. Like, I was just like, are you like, I was already pissed off because
Get out of your way. You're hangry.
well, I was just like, I knew what this bullshit was.
Lincoln needs a
And
hot dog.
I looked at the sign that was above him, and I was like, I'm like, your sign says purchase. And he's like, oh yeah, I know. And then just didn't say anything else. And I was like, I was just like, cool, man. And I fucking
so
jumped over. Oh,
disappointing.
I was so, anyway, I was just rattled.
This was
I was
my
like,
first time going in like 10 years, so I was like,
It-
I don't
you-
even remember what it used to be like.
It
If
used
it's
to
better,
be so good. It used to be way better before. Like Fan Expo is the company that bought it, so they're the ones that run. They run like
Fan Expo.
they run cons like all over North America, and like some of them are okay, but it's just like it's so fucking pricey for what it is. If you like, I paid $27 to get in on the Thursday. The Saturday, like the biggest day, is like $62 to get in.
I had to buy a ticket just to go to that one little event, and
Yeah.
I was working that day, so I got to go for an hour.
Yeah,
And
it cost
nobody
you
told me, and it actually took me half an hour of walking around. Like,
Yep,
I'm gonna get like my blood boiling even talking
I know.
about this.
So there's no
Can you
sign.
tell me about Artist Alley though?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So they don't tell anybody that that's where you have to go to get your tickets. So I parked over past the Big Four, walked by the Big Four, went immediately to get my ticket,
the same thing.
then went to the BMO because I knew that that's how they were fucking doing it again. Because
I did the same thing as in I went to the entrance. Nothing at the entrance. You have to go to a different building to get.
Oh, you went to the BMO,
Yeah,
and then had to walk back. See, that's fucking.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people were doing. And it's a long walk because
No
of the
signs.
construction. There's no signs, and it's a long walk because of the construction.
And there's no place that says entrance. It only says re-entry. So you're like, where did I
That
enter
was,
for the
and I
first
got
time?
confused. I walked past that.
Somebody tag the
So stupid.
Calgary Expo so they can see our.
I was rattled
Opinions.
about that too because
I
I
know.
walked past.
I had 2 hours to use this
The
ticket,
security-
and half of it was gone from walking around, and I didn't even get to see the artist.
The security lady was standing there holding the door open, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking at all the signs, and I walked past her, and she smiled at me, and I was like, okay, and I'm like, I clearly look like I'm trying to find the entrance. I walked further, and then I saw another one that was like exit only, arrows pointing this way, and I was like, where the fuck? Because it said re-entry, and I went back and I was like, and I asked her, I was like, is this how we go in? She's like, yeah, and I'm like, why doesn't it say entrance? And she's like, I have no idea. I was like, great, go in. You have to like tap your thing. Great, whatever. Go in. The whole retailer side is like, okay, it's done up well, whatever. It's mostly pop vinyl figures.
There were a
Which-
lot of repeated booths that
Yeah.
were kind of the same. Yeah.
There was, I saw on one of the Calgary video game groups, somebody had asked, they were like, how's Comic Expo? Like, what are the, like, is there a lot of like video game booths? Which you'd think there would be. There was 3, and they were very small.
There was not a lot of gaming stuff. I did.
There was
notice
not a lot
that.
of gaming stuff.
I put that in the survey.
If you wanted pop vinyl figures, oh man.
Buck wild.
Oh fuck. 90% of the booths had you covered.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, there was one booth where dude was selling random fucking DVDs. I bought Turkish Star Wars, which I'm excited to watch because it looks ridiculous.
I bought 2 things.
Oh?
I bought like a little iron cloak pin for my cloak that I sewed myself.
Okay.
I don't dress up for Comic-Con. I dress up for like chilling in my house.
Yeah.
Which is a cloak for comfort.
That's cute.
But it's like really heavy. I made it out of nice fabric. So I have like an actual for real like, cloak pin now.
Yeah, you got a cloak pin.
Moving up in
And
the world. And a tiny plushy Neo from the Matrix.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, yeah, that's cute.
I saw this. I was like, I can't resist.
Right.
Not a toy person, but I do love an occasional stuffy.
Yeah, that's fair.
I actually got a stuffy from Roswell too.
Oh.
A big alien.
Well, there you
who's
go.
In my bed now.
So yeah, there was some stuff that was like okay, but most of the retailers were pretty like they were all geared towards the same thing, which is like everybody's got pop vinyls, like Funko Pops, and that's fine. I do obviously you're sitting in front of a whole bunch.
I missed these.
Yeah, like I've, you know, I do collect them, but that's not all I'm there to see, right? Like
The Cowboy McNugget from McDonald's.
my favorite McNugget.
Can I pull it out?
Yeah, sure.
It's at the bottom. I'm gonna create a.
Well, she's derailing the podcast. Oh, there you go. I know that sat on my desk for a while.
If that doesn't bring you back to like Happy Meals when you're a kid.
I'm really hoping one day they do all the Halloween ones because I want all of the Halloween McNuggets.
So cute.
Yeah. So, obviously I did like 3 laps of the retailers at Expo, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go check out Artist Alley, because Artist Alley isn't usually my favorite part. But there's still some good stuff there. It's all like the handmade stuff and like people actually doing art and like up your alley.
If I had known that was a thing, like I have no idea who's there, but like there's actually a Calgary artist who does the fuck me if I don't know the name. It's a woman who does the covers of the Saga series.
Okay.
Have you ever read those graphic novels?
No.
Spacey kind of.
That name kind of sounds familiar.
It's good. They've got some of my
probably
favorite
there.
characters, like design. And I actually saw there's a weird character of like this prince who has a TV for a head, and I actually saw somebody dressed up as that. I was like,
oh,
someone else knows what's up.
That's cool.
But yeah, like that's a person I'd love to see draw or ask questions to or something like.
Well, and I feel like. Yeah, I feel like now that you kind of know that that's where it was, like I feel like that whole side of it is way more up your alley. Well, I'm sure you were super confused why there was 0 artists.
I was confused the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, and they do not make it easy.
And there was no food. There was 2 food stalls and the lineups were like.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Were the food trucks not there?
Oh, they were outside, and then you'd have to walk. 15 minutes that way to go there.
So they had the food trucks, which was so fucking stupid. They had because of all that construction in front of those entrances to the BMO, because they knocked down the corral. That's normally where the food trucks would sit so that you could go in and out. But because you have to walk all the way around, the food trucks are sitting in front of the big 4, and it's like
annoying.
The people in Artist Alley, I'm sure they were stoked.
I know we're shitting on the Calgary Comic Con right now, but
it's not though. We're shitting
because
it's Fan
we
Expo,
care.
but it's Fan Expo though. We're not shitting on. No, like
I gotta say, we gotta even the opinion out of it. The things I did love about it.
Oh yeah.
People were fun, so nice. They're all dressed up super cute. Everyone like I don't know. I really love the vibe there of everyone being like. Into what they're into. They're all like expressing or trying to find something that they're passionate about and like get little things from it.
Yeah.
And I'm like so into that. Everyone being just excited to be there. It was actually super fun. Once you found your way around.
Yeah, that's very true. I got a photo with a dude wearing a really cool Batman suit. Like I saw him.
Which version of Batman?
Affleck's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like as soon as
that's a choice.
Yeah, he was walking around, and as soon as he was like with his family, like he had like 2 little kids and his wife, and they were all dressed up as something. But I saw him, and I was like, "Dude, can I get a photo with you?" And he was like, "Yeah, of course." Like, he was stoked.
Oh,
he was stoked. I was like, "Dude, I
didn't see a single Robert Pattinson Batman, and that's what I want to see next year."
Might
Somebody
be too
give me
new. Well, no, I feel like
people would have to start building their shit.
I feel like no. I guess it's been around long enough that I feel like people could have probably.
It only came out in March.
No, I know, but I mean, we've had photos of his Batman for.
True, but how do you know you love it until you see the movie?
That's very true.
Next year,
you can tell how much I love it. I literally have the pop vinyls of them. I have those figures of them and those figures.
I do love a Batman.
Did you like the?
I'm biased. I'm such a Robert Pattinson fan.
Same.
He's such a weirdo. I love weirdos.
He's so good.
He's good.
He's so
Whoever did his hair did him dirty, but it didn't wreck anything for me.
I loved
enjoyed
it.
it.
I loved it. I thought it was very like those sunglasses and his hair when he's at the funeral.
Oh, that was a vibe. That looked cool.
Yeah, those like
When he's like
those
getting
weird
back into
rectangle,
the Batcave and he's still got the makeup on his eyes and he's got
Yeah.
the swoop, and I'm just like flashbacks of people I dated in 2007. Like
it's very, very MCR.
no.
Oh my god. No, I love that movie so much.
Yeah, it was good.
I think he's my favorite Batman.
Honestly, the mood in that movie was just perfect.
It was.
That Nirvana song that was
Plays throughout it, yeah.
I think I've listened to it 200 times. I don't know what that says about my mental state. I'm actually in a very nice place, but sometimes it's nice to go to that sad place when you're otherwise happy.
Yeah, you want to stand there and have the black makeup on your eyes and you just want to stare at the computer.
I just want to stare out a window from high up, like hands behind the back, and just like.
Something in the way. Oh my god, it's
whoever
so
chose that
good.
song just fucking nailed it.
Oh,
That-
fucking. And I didn't, and it's funny because when they were doing all of the advertising for that movie with that song, I was like, oh, I'm like, that is a bold choice for the advertising
and
for
then
the
it's
movie.
the only song in the movie.
I know. I did not, because typically
that made
when
it so much cooler.
it did, and typically stuff that's used in advertising for movies is not in the movie.
Oh.
I mean,
Oh, actually, I know one example of that.
it might be the same. I don't know if it's the same one we're thinking, but go.
Oh, there is they used like some remix or cover of like a Blue Monday song, a New Order song, Blue Monday.
Do 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 do
For the Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh my god.
That ad was. It was everything. It was such
Okay.
a song. I worked out to that song for like months. That was my fucking getting to it song. Kicking.
That
butts.
okay. I wasn't like a huge fan of 1984, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. Like
Because Wonder Woman and the cheetah needed to have a side romance, and it didn't happen.
I know.
And we all got.
Can you talk to
blue-balled on
somebody about that?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Without going into too much detail, can you talk to somebody about that? No, I personally, I mean, I feel like there could have been. I feel like there was a lot of potential with that movie, and it kind of just like it fell a little flat
For you, yeah.
for me. Yeah,
Yeah. The beginning was the part that didn't make sense to me.
for
That
sure. There's a lot of really cool like visual stuff going on in that movie, and like I love a lot of the stuff that like Pedro Pascal did in that movie. Like some of that stuff was really cool, and visually I love the 80s, but I think another problem is that when they do the 80s in movies, they're doing it very bright and vibrant when no, the 80s
that's
was
maybe
fucking
not what it was
well, it was
about.
brown. Everything was fucking brown.
And I just want to see like goth representation from the 80s. That's
That
all
too.
I want.
100%.
Where's the Cure? Give it to me.
Yeah. But that
Give it to me.
you're 100% right. that Blue Monday like symphony remix, oh my god, is unbelievable.
Can you like put it over this?
I
This is me dancing to the song. You put
I
it
don't
on.
know if I can without getting like demonetized, but oh my god, you're 100% right on that one.
We'll take an audio and we'll just like acapella it.
Do 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 do. I did. I that was one of my favorite parts
That's a
about
power
Wonder
song.
Woman 1984
I
was
lost my mind
that
with that song.
yeah.
And the poster was fabulous.
There, I guess another example of them using the song in the advertising and also using it in the movie is Thor Ragnarok.
What did they use?
They used the immigrant song in the advertising,
Oh.
like the doom doo doo dee doo doo doom doo doo dee doo, and then they
Like
used it in the
Berkeley?
actual movie, and I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of on the nose.
Well, that's a vibey song. I honestly
It is
I
a
haven't
vibey
seen that
song.
since it came out. I don't remember. One of my COVID things was watching all the Marvel movies. Now that Disney has the in chronological order section,
They have that on Disney
they
Plus.
did. And
I didn't know
skipped
that.
the ones that were fresh in my mind, but I did it all during the
Which
7
ones-
months I wasn't allowed to work.
Okay.
So that actually
Wait,
went
it
by
took
really
you
fast.
7 months to do them all?
No, that was just one of my little.
Oh, okay.
You know, I had like fixations.
Because I was
going to
say I can watch all the Marvel movies in like in like 4 days.
Like,
But
your
like,
butt is just numb.
well, what is it? We on our trip to Krista and I went back to the Bahamas, because we went to the Bahamas for our honeymoon, and then we went to Dominican, and then we went to the Bahamas.
When was that?
This was 2018. So it was 2018. We went to the Bahamas, and on that trip, I rewatched every single Marvel movie.
In the Bahamas?
On the plane.
Oh, okay.
In the hotel room.
Was there bad weather or something?
No.
Like,
No, well, no, like any, but no, but any of the, no, like we still went out and had fun, but I mean, like literally any of the points where we were just like relaxing in the hotel room, I had all of the Marvel movies on my iPad. I was just like, yeah, I crushed them.
I'd have to be there for a month.
Nope. I literally, and I think our trip was 4 days, was not long. I literally crushed. And granted, okay, that's 2018. So like, Endgame and, well, was Endgame out? I can't remember. We're talking, this is like 10 Marvel movies ago. Like, so like,
Okay.
now, like, as they keep putting them out, like, it's going to get harder and harder to watch them all in like a select amount of time. They've got Marvel movies slated for the next 10 years. Like,
I believe it.
It's going.
The train is rolling.
The train is never going to stop. Like, Kevin Feige is fucking brilliant. And I know that like Kevin Smith has talked about this, many other people.
Kevs.
The Kevs.
The Kevies.
Many other people have talked about this, but honestly, Kevin Feige, what he's done with the MCU and what they've turned that into is fucking unbelievable. People like, thankfully you love the Marvel movies. I love the Marvel. At a certain point, I had kind of, do you watch TikTok? Sort of.
When I say that I have fixations over COVID.
Okay. You know that TikTok where it's like the audio where it's like, that's enough slices.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that moment in 2018 when I watched them all again, that was me getting back into Marvel, and I think that's why I did it, because before,
you gotta refresh your memory. A lot has happened.
Yeah, because before that, I was kind of like, man, there's too many Marvel movies, and I'm kind of over what they're doing. And like,
slices.
It's enough slice. That's exactly what I did. And so, yeah, that was me getting back into it and watching them all, because when you go and because we all went and saw Iron Man in the theaters. We all did. We all went and saw the Hulk movie with Edward Norton. We all went and saw, you know what I mean? Okay, fuck you.
I got into them later.
No, that's fair.
When they were all available, and I was like, okay.
But
yeah.
I started there, and like I was going with my friends, and I was like, I don't know anything about this, and like I don't really.
It makes no sense. I know somebody who's only seen Endgame, and they were like, "You guys like these movies?" I'm like, "Bro, do your research, your homework. You got homework."
Can't, oh my god,
Somebody,
that's like,
whoever brought her was just.
That's so fucking
inconsiderate.
stupid.
Yeah.
That's like reading. That's like what I did with Game of Thrones. I watched the last season of Game of Thrones just to see how bad it was.
Oh, Lincoln.
Yeah, but I did it. But I was like, I'm never gonna watch fucking Game of Thrones. Fuck Game of Thrones. I do not care. I do not care.
I'm just waiting for the books to come out.
Yeah, because there's like still,
George, because he's walking.
George R.R. Martin. Wiener. That was the only good thing to come out of Game of Thrones was the South Park episodes. That was the only good thing.
We can agree to disagree. I'm standing. I'm still waiting for George to do his thing.
One wiener.
I gotta say, George is the reason I started playing Elden Ring. Because I was very curious as to what he would sprinkle in there. And I gotta say, there's like some signature stuff in there that is, you know, from having only read Game of Thrones by George, my homie, we're on a first name basis.
Is this
like,
the moment where you're telling me you like actually have met George R.R. Martin and you're just like, oh yeah, we're
no,
home.
even though I was just in Santa Fe, and to my friend who like grew up there, I was like, where does George live?
Does he live in Santa Fe?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, which is cool because it's a small, arty, beautiful little community, and apparently he puts so much into it. Like,
okay. Well, he's got so much fucking money.
I'm gonna convince you to like give George a chance.
Oh, I'm not giving him a chance. I just don't like fantasy stuff. That's why. I know.
You don't like fantastical things that
Shut
are made
the
up about
fuck
the
up.
world?
No. There's a difference. I don't like medieval stuff. There you go.
Oh,
There's a difference. It's
this
not
is
even
where the rift begins.
Oh, is this the end of our the end of our friendship?
No. I love people with all kinds of interests,
Mm-hmm.
but fantasy is just where my heart and soul lies.
This is why there's like, because are you a Skyrim stan?
I got into gaming a little bit too late. I never had a console. My little brother did, and I didn't have one growing up. I was playing The Sims like every other 14-year-old girl. I really got into gaming when my ex-boyfriend had a PS4 and he was working up north. So I'd go over to his house when he wasn't there and start playing Red Dead Redemption. And that was the game that got me into games.
Okay,
So I'm making up
Red
for the
Dead
last time.
2 or Red Dead?
Red Dead 2.
Oh, okay.
Like,
that's
I'm
a good
quite
game to get into.
Yeah, a recent
That's my favorite
convert.
game of all time.
Yeehaw.
I fucking love
Cowboy McNugget, that's you.
I love cowboys. I love the Old West.
Oh, I adored
like-
that game.
Yeah, I know why. It's incredible.
Oh,
Did you finish it?
Oh,
good.
buddy.
Good.
Yes. I think I played multiple endings, and I played the fuck out of the the
online?
epilogue.
Oh, the epilogue.
area
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Online didn't catch my interest.
No.
That one wasn't very fun.
No.
I don't like PvP stuff.
No.
I love co-op. I love
Yeah.
playing with your friends and chilling. Where
you're-
Elden Ring is so fun.
Yeah. Okay, so
Oh yeah, so George,
I was gonna say
I think provided like the bones of the story, or
for
maybe,
Elden Ring.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so I tried Dark Souls like a million years ago,
Okay.
and
I've never played.
I
Dark
made the
Souls.
mistake of trying it on a Switch, which I guess was my first fuck up.
Bummer.
And I ended up like 5 seconds in, I was like, fuck this, not for me. I hate it.
But now you got yourself a PS5.
Oh, and I'm just an open world game lover. I love pretending I'm not on Earth for long periods of time.
See, and okay, I do love like Zelda Breath of the Wild.
That's a beautiful game.
It's a beautiful game.
It's
Okay,
really nice.
okay. See, but
Oh
okay.
yeah. So George, with the bits that he put into Elden Ring, everyone's ripping on him just for his initials being on every character, and it makes it quite confusing. I'm like, Magritte, Morgott, they all sound the same. Sometimes I have to just remember who they are based on where they are, because the names are wildly similar.
Okay.
And but he has this odd thing where it's like fingers and hands are like major characters and players and bad guys. Like there's these like disgusting hands that are creepy, that are bad guys. They give you the middle finger and then shoot a spell at you.
Actually,
For real. And then like these odd, like you can get into the lore forever about it, but these like big omniscient connectors between like whatever their creator is and the main world are called like the two fingers. And they're literally like two giant hairy gross fingers. And then I remember like what's the character in, who's the character, the spider or somebody, the fingers seems to be like something that he likes to call people. I'm just maybe connecting this with a false memory, but I don't know.
I have no
The
idea. what
world
you're
is
talking
fucking
about.
awesome. You don't like medieval stuff, so you're not
No,
gonna...
no. Here's the thing, though. Adam, the last time I saw Adam, he told me that he bought Elden Ring because he got a PS5 because his PS4 died on him, and he's like, "Well, fuck. Like, I guess I'm just gonna get a PS5 because."
You're gonna buy it eventually anyway.
Well, yeah, and he's like, I'll pay like a little bit of a premium to get one off a guy or whatever.
Oh, secondhand?
Yeah,
Oof.
it was brand new, but I think like they're 700 retail, and I think he paid like 800 or something like that.
Oh,
so
honestly,
not like,
for the nightmare it was to get one. I think I got mine in the February that they came out.
oh
Like,
shit, so right away.
I was like, well, that was during one of our lockdowns. So I was like, I had Twitter notification. I like reactivated Twitter to
That's fair.
like get the notifications to like try to buy it. And, like,
Yeah.
but it was kind of a fun game when I had nothing else going on. So
That's fair.
there's another fixation for the list.
So Adam gets Elden Ring, and he's the same like me. He doesn't like medieval shit, but he got it on a whim just because everybody's talking about it, and he was like, "Well, let's see what this fucking thing." He said he's like obsessed. He like can't
Oh,
stop
yeah.
playing it. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I told him, I was like, well, okay, I want to come over and like watch you play it one day, because then because I'm But I'm that person that's just like, oh yeah, let me get the game that's like trendy, and then like I'll never play it. Like that's just, I know, but that's just what I do because I'm like, I have the PS5
It's your
and
toxic trait.
it is. I have the
these unplayed
PS5
games.
and the Xbox, and I don't play.
Wasted on you.
Yeah, kind of. To a certain degree. I just like having all the fancy stuff apparently. But no, I see. Did you ever play like Fallout?
Actually, yeah, Fallout 4 was the last game I played before I got really into Elden Ring.
'Kay.
It was like a PS Plus free game.
Perfect.
I gotta say, that's the first game in years that I haven't finished. Since I started gaming, that's the first one I haven't
and the-
finished because I was like,
The end of Fallout 4 is
get on with this.
fucking dope though.
Is it?
Oh yeah, and
Maybe I'll go back.
I played it wrong too because I picked a side and
What side? The Brotherhood?
yeah, I think
Brotherhood?
I think I picked I picked the Brotherhood. I think I can't remember exactly what I did, but there's a way to play all three sides to get like a certain there's like you can get different
Turncoat.
yeah, you can kind of play both sides and like but it kind of forces you into a decision at some point, but if I remember correctly, because I have the guide here somewhere, at a certain point I think you're able to like there were certain things that I hadn't done with the other group that once I had chosen the Brotherhood, I could no longer
locked
do.
in, yeah.
And I was like, fuck. Like, so that's like, that's a game, that's an open world game that I love because I love the aesthetic of it. And I love like more of a modern world kind of thing with like modern weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You start introducing like swords and spells and magic and stuff.
I'm here
like,
for the magic.
no, and that's fair. And like, I love me some Harry Potter, but like, I kind of get lost on like, I don't know.
This is why you got to do laser tag.
I love laser tag, but that's not medieval. It's not magical.
That's what I'm saying. That's your
Oh,
a
yeah,
laser
yeah,
tag guy. And
yeah.
maybe
Well,
I'm
and that's why I love the Cowboys, because like the Cowboy era is like my fucking jam.
You just love guns. Maybe you love guns more
Maybe
than
I
you
do
think
love
you
guns.
do.
Jesus
Ooh.
Christ. Ooh.
Learning things about yourself.
No, I like cars. I like driving cars, which is why I like Grand Theft Auto, because then I can just like most of the time I'm just like driving around, crashing into shit, or driving as fast as I can, or like stealing cars.
Did you play Cyberpunk?
So I got Cyberpunk.
I just like that's the last game I played where I was really driving a car, and I just remember I was playing like I pre-ordered.
Ooh.
R.I.P. me.
Fuck.
So I just remember.
Did you play the whole game?
Yeah, I played every ending
Fuck.
because I
Wait,
really
did you
like the story. Actually.
No, that's fair.
The
Did
story
you
was great.
play it like? Did you play like through it
That was
when
another.
it first came out? Oh fuck.
I actually got pretty lucky. Even though I was playing on a PS4, I didn't have crazy like game ending glitches. That only happened to me a couple times. It was more the fact that the city looked like shit that was the big disappointment to me.
So
But
I didn't pre-order it, but when it hit when it was released and it hit like the digital store, I was like, you know what, whatever, I'll buy it and install it on my Series X, and it looked pretty good. Like it looks great on the Series X, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. I installed it on my Xbox One S, and I couldn't even. It was so bad.
that was before they yoinked it from the store, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Sam. Oh my God. You couldn't even like it was like choppy and like the city wasn't low. It was awful.
It did take a long time to load.
So now I've talked to another friend of mine because we're like a year out from that release now. Like it's been out for a while now.
Year and a bit.
Probably.
I think it was December.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly when it came out, but I ran into not game ending glitches, but I ran into glitches that just kind of were like, oh man, like
The put down the controller glitches.
Yeah,
Turn off the TV glitches.
literally where I was like, Kate, I'm
Crushing.
gonna wait until they
should have sorted out.
it's either sorted out or I never go back to it. I've talked to a few friends and they said it's a way better game now, and it's like way different.
Good. Yeah.
They took away, you can't change the length of your penis anymore. Apparently they took that. Did you ever do that?
No, I was playing as a woman in the game, but I did see the glitches where it would just like hang out of your pants. I was like, they should have kept that as just like a funny, endearing glitch.
Yeah.
Since we all loved it.
100% we all loved it. But yeah, they took all that out of there.
See, with that option, I really expected there to be like a shop that you could go to get like genital mods in the game, and that they would like do crazy things. Like, I want some big spirally octopus thing.
I know.
And then maybe you hit people with it.
That's
what I want.
I know. Like the
CD Projekt Red next game.
The platform. they just
we want dick weapons.
We don't want dick weapons. Just the weird like plastic surgery shit. Well, I guess not even that. Like just the weird mods they could have done.
Oh yeah.
It would have been so. You could have like dick weapons, or like boob weapons. That would have been fucking
pew, pew. Austin Powers. Pew, pew.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been fucking. Yeah, the fembots.
Yeah,
that would have been fucking cool. Yeah, so that one I really like. I have to go back. I just have to start over because it's been. I kind of remember what happens. Like, I got past the point where you're like hiding in that dude's like apartment, like at the very beginning, and then your buddy gets killed. Like that's like super early on.
Yeah,
yeah. I didn't get very.
That's the intro.
Yeah,
your buddy getting killed is kind of the.
Okay, maybe I got a little bit
intro.
Okay,
kind of.
I got past the titles. I remember though driving the car in the game was awful. The driving mechanics were fucking I was like, terrible.
The cars sucked. Motorcycles super fun. Soundtrack super fun.
Yes.
No, that was a game where I played every single ending because I was so into all the characters. Takamura, like I ended up loving him, and I like played an ending where he's like. You go along with him and it's like the worst fucking ending ever. And I honestly get so invested. And then
Johnny Silverhand? Keanu Reeves?
That's the reason. So I spent so much time in that lockdown, like just taking bro photos of Johnny Silverhand and I, or like, you know. And there was like the Sailor Moon poses, like. Aww.
You dropped a ring, by the way.
Oh, I took it off because I was clanking it on the chair.
Okay.
But like all the poses you could do in photo mode were so funny.
I don't even think I've done that yet. I really need to go back to that game.
And then Johnny's just vibing all the time.
See, and that's what I wonder is like, that's why I want to go back now because I know they've done so many updates and I know they've changed the game. So I'm wondering now if the game actually like plays a lot better.
Oh, I bet.
Like I'm wondering if the driving mechanics are better and like.
Let's both try again and get back to each other. Okay.
Well, I have it on Xbox. I don't have it on PS5. Oh. Yeah, you looked like you were starting to
wiggle around.
Yeah, you're like all over in the chair, and I was like, "What the fuck is she doing?"
I really had to pee.
No, that's cool.
Also, it make me kind of antsy when I'm like so understimulated.
Yeah, I know.
I got a touch of the ADHD. I'm pretty sure.
I can tell because I do too.
Yeah, okay.
But I take medication for it, so.
I got medication once for it.
What?
Dexto something.
Oh, okay. I take Vyvanse. So I don't even know.
My doctor barely asked me 2 questions about it. They're like, "Oh, your therapist thinks that could be an option. Have these pills." Yeah. And I got so fucked up. I like slammed my car into a concrete pole.
What?
Like just in my parking lot, so not an accident, but yeah, it fucked me up. I got a shitty doctor, I think.
My doctor's great. She asks me so many questions. And
Give me your doctor's name.
Later. I will. Yeah. She's in Crowfoot. Okay, whoa.
So pre-pee break, we just went on a video game tangent.
Yeah, we were talking about cyber. Well, I mean, we got, like, we can hit the 2-hour mark, I guess. I don't care. We can do a 2-hour episode.
You're editing it, too, so.
Yeah, whatever. There'll be, like, little bits here and there to cut out. I'm not cutting out your pee break because I was sitting here singing, so.
Lucky everyone. Getting a song.
Yeah, they get a song and they can hear you peeing in the background. So
for free?
For free. They don't even have to pay. I should start an OnlyFans.
That's how we advertise the podcast. Listen to this girl pee.
Well, I'll just start an OnlyFans and I'll put that as like I'll be like, you want to hear Sam pee? You got to pay $5 a month.
Let's be millionaires.
Fuck yeah. I have a couple friends actually that one has already started her OnlyFans. The other one really wants to because she wants to make money doing it. She wants to do it more anonymously, and like that's fine. But it's like it's a lot of work.
Oh,
but
that's a job.
They want me. Yeah, it's a job, 100%.
Like
but they
sex
want
work is work, and that is a fucking lot of work.
Sex work, 100% is work.
Online work, that would be.
and they want me to like. I've made some content for the one girl, and the other one wants stuff too, which is good. And she's like, yeah, let's like. She's like, help me build it, and then we can just like split the profits or whatever. And I'm like, okay.
Split the profits.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Or we'll like figure it out or whatever. But it's like,
Yeah.
could you imagine if I could like actually like turn that into like even if it was making like 10 grand a month, or like even if it was making $1,000 a month, like who cares? Like,
Yeah, it's
but there's
cool, fun
literally
work to do.
well, yeah, there's
people
literally women that are
make these
making
things.
like $1 million a month
I believe
off their
that.
naked bodies, and that's awesome. I think that is awesome.
Power to that.
1,000.
Those should be the millionaires in the world, the multi-billionaires.
Yeah,
The naked ladies
but
on
they're
there.
building. They're like building these.
People.
I can't. That's the thing. I can't do that because no
You
one
be behind
wants.
the scenes. Don't say no one.
No, I can absolutely. Well, no, that's kind of what I want to do. Is like I think that's great. Like I can absolutely be behind the scenes, but like nobody wants to see this. Like nobody wants me to start an OnlyFans.
I think you're underestimating the broadness of human attraction.
I am.
People are attracted to all kinds of things.
Oh no, I know that.
Every kind. There's someone and something for everyone.
Yes, 100% there is. I still don't think that an OnlyFans with me is a very good idea.
That's just a question you have to ask yourself if
That's
you want
why
to do
I'm
it
not,
or not.
and I've answered
It's
the
a
question.
market for everyone.
Yeah, I know there's a market for everybody. I just don't think I'm comfortable doing the podcast. I don't know that I would
Naked podcast is the next step.
maybe. Okay. So that okay.
Next
so
step after that, OnlyFans. But
that's
yeah,
how
I have
I'm-
a lot of friends doing OnlyFans too.
Well, that's
and
how I monetize
a lot
it.
of good. There you go.
I do naked podcasts, and then it's just like you want the same thing, but the naked version you got to pay for it. That's how I monetize this.
There you go.
Sorry, go on. Yeah, lots of friends.
Oh no, just like how you're saying your friends are doing it. Yeah, everyone I know has had like whatever level of success. I've never talked details with my friends on like how much they make or anything, but it's just like an awesome option to have that power in their own hands.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I feel like you get, well, and it's not necessarily that you don't always get out what you're putting into it, because there's a lot of people doing it right now. But I do feel like the more you're putting into like advertising yourself in different avenues, like between Instagram, Reddit, like Instagram is more OnlyFans friendly than like TikTok. TikTok is super not OnlyFans friendly. So there's like
Actually, that's something I hope Elon doesn't change about Twitter. Twitter's the gateway into OnlyFans, I feel like.
I don't think he will.
Yeah, do you ever go on a TikTok and someone's like, don't look at the Twitter, or do look at the Twitter?
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where it lives.
Well, yeah, because you can post nakedness on
Oh, for sure.
on Twitter, which
That's
is
freedom of speech right there.
yeah. But then it's also like I feel like Twitter's a good resource for that, for where they're like, yeah, go to the Twitter to get the link.
Yeah, Instagram prudes.
Instagram,
yeah.
but Instagram you can still
Unless
load
you're like a really hot skinny person, then
Yeah.
you're okay.
100%. Yeah, they won't shut you down if you're Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
But you can still load the OnlyFans link from Instagram. Like you can still click on the link and it will
so they
open
haven't-
in a separate. Yeah, TikTok it will not. It like shuts it down immediately. So they're all so. Most people's TikTok accounts, it's like spicy link in the Instagram bio because they can link their Instagram, right? Twitter, you can
put the content on there.
you can put like samples of the content to like drive people to your page, which is great. Reddit's another one that's like no holds barred. Like you can post whatever the fuck you want on Reddit. It's what the Wild West in there. So
yeah, sure is.
there's a lot of avenues where you can advertise properly, and then like advertise essentially what you're selling, which is yourself. You are selling yourself, but I feel like the ones that there's I guess
I smell a tangent.
I'm already in the tangent. No, there's like there's like vapid. I don't know if vapid's the right word, but there's beauty standards, right? And then there's obviously, so Bella Thorne is a good example of like, she went and started an OnlyFans and like had a whole, because she already had a platform with like Instagram.
I don't even know who that is.
She's just some fucking.
I know her name because I know a lot of people.
She's an
who
actress
do sex
that
work, like
she's not a sex, like I wouldn't count her as a
disrespect
sex.
the name a little bit.
Well, people who do OnlyFans were pissed off at her because she kind of like fucked the system up, because she went and started an OnlyFans and then like made like $1 million in a day, selling like, and I don't even
not bad.
No, I know, but I don't even think the content she was posting was like nude content.
Oh.
So then OnlyFans had to like, the company had to be like, whoa, like, they had to like change the way that they're paying out people, and like it fucked over some smaller accounts.
Oh,
and
that
like,
sucks.
yeah, it really kind of screwed up a lot of things. And like, she's also, people were kind of upset with her because I guess she was like piggybacking off of like actual sex workers to like basic, I don't know. It just like, whereas like you look at somebody like Riley Reid or like, who's like has been like a legit porn star for years, who's now like, for women who do sex work, it's a good thing because they now control their own content and they're not like looking to men controlled companies to like,
We've eliminated the pimps.
essentially, yeah, like you're more in control of your own brand and what you're building. So like Riley Reid is a good example
And
of
whatever
like,
you're comfortable with
Yeah.
too. I think that's a huge part of
100%.
how things have been going.
yes, 100%.
Because honestly, respect to anybody putting themselves out there like that. This is probably the most out there I've put myself in years on the internet, and we're chatting. Like
this?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, that's fair.
put much on there. I like
No, on your big account, it's all just art.
Yeah, like that's my portfolio. That's
Yeah.
tattooing and stuff. It's like I just I don't know. I guess I just don't spend my time that way. Like, you know, I like to do things in real life, and putting the phone down feels great. And then I'm lucky enough that doesn't, you know, I don't enjoy it, so it's not my stream of income or anything.
Right.
And that's just me. But yeah, honestly, respect for anybody putting their stuff out there, because
Yeah, a lot of people don't have that luxury now where literally they cannot put the phone down because that's
yeah.
their income.
oh, absolutely. And if you like survive on that, like I understand completely. Yeah, for myself, it's amazing that I have, you know, an audience on Instagram and stuff. But the ultimate luxury of that is the fact that I have real people coming in and sitting in my chair. And that's all that I need, is like a real person who wants to get tattooed by me or buy my art or something like that. But I think about people who like have to think about like content schedules and stuff, and I'm like, oh my goodness, exhausts me to think about it.
Yep, that's what I'm in the middle of right now.
Sorry, bud.
No, it's fine. It's
Content trip.
Yeah, content trip. No, it's fine. I mean, the thing is like, yeah, I need to treat it more. I'm figuring out more and more. Like, I'm getting back to that because it's like it was a job previously, like up until like the beginning of February, and it was not a job in a fun way. But I'm trying to get back to that, like, not like, I don't want to give myself a strict set of like rules that I need to follow or processes, or like obviously processes for sure. But like, I want this to be like a very fun and creative space. And
Well,
like,
it's been really fun already. This is a nice, fun place to have a fun conversation.
Totally. And that is what I needed to get back to, because what the environment that I was in was very like limiting and very not conducive to creativity. Like there was no room for that. So
that's the thing. I used to love the internet when you would just, for myself, like Instagram, following all my tattooer friends used to be so fun to just see what everybody did that day.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wow, wow,
I
wow.
know.
And then I don't think I've seen a post from a tattooer when I open up my Instagram, like in a year or two now. It's like completely turned into this like corporate shill rather than this like fun, open, creative place to see things.
Yeah.
I loved that about the internet. Like, you know, you'd go and be so inspired by whatever you saw. And now it's like you only see the meme pages that pay Instagram to bump their shit. And I'm like, come on, guys. Like, yeah.
Because they're making money off that shit.
Yeah, totally. It's killing the creativity, which,
Yeah.
I mean, if the internet has taught us anything, it's like, well, there's a lot of lessons from the internet, but you can't boil it down into one sentence. It's like, it's the best when it's kind of like Reddit-esque, like Wild West, like people being people and connecting from everywhere.
Totally.
And like the less corporate hands in it, the better, IMO.
Yeah.
But
It's just unfortunate that like literally every platform that we want to post on is like just so corporate now.
yeah.
Even OnlyFans, like, oh, like, do you remember, like, not even that long ago, like in 2021 at a certain point, they were trying to step away from the sex work.
I remember that, and you're just like, you guys know what you do, right?
Well, it's not even, it's, they ran an ad campaign, which very unsuccessfully worked. There are people that have OnlyFans accounts that aren't geared towards sex work, but like,
Do you remember that meme of like like it was a conversation of two people in the OnlyFans office? Like, oh yeah, if we cut this out, it's only 9% of our audience, and the other person's like, read that again, and it's like 90. It's 90%.
90. Yeah, that sounds about right. No, they literally, like, they ran an ad, and I saw a few ads on like on Instagram and on Reddit or whatever from this ad campaign where the whole campaign was geared towards like, it's not just like, the whole thing was about like, it's not just porn, but they were saying it in like a very like
Condescending to porn way?
No, I wouldn't even say condescending, but just in kind of like a cheeky like wink way, like, oh, like you can use OnlyFans. There's other stuff and you can use OnlyFans for anything, right? Without saying porn, like, because everybody knows as soon as you say OnlyFans, everyone's initial
marketing, yeah.
Everyone's initial like
It's synonymous.
yeah, it's like the porn and OnlyFans. They're just like they're basically the same. Like, it's that like Pam thing from The Office where she's like, they're the same picture. Like, it's literally that. So they were trying to get away from it, and then they had announced that they were like, yeah, we're going to start banning porn accounts, and we're going to start pulling off. They had like this whole list of rules of like stuff. Did
whoever in the office, whoever's idea was that was, did they like get fired for that?
I have no idea, but it
Whose
basically,
bright idea was this?
I don't know, but it's kind of funny how they built the entire platform on the backs of sex workers.
And then we're like, fuck you.
Well, it's kind of like what Tumblr did. Like, Tumblr did kind of the same thing. Like, Tumblr was really...
Oh my God. Tumblr was black and gray.
Tumblr was...
Sexy gifs.
Yes. Like, Tumblr at a certain point had a lot of...
come home.
You know, like, there was a lot of sex workers on Tumblr, too. And then when they changed their terms of service... That's
a social media I long abandoned, too.
Yeah.
Sorry,
and once they kicked everybody off... Or, like, once they kicked the sex workers off there, it kind of... It's like...
It's like people can't reconcile the fact that is like the number one thing that a lot of people want in the world. If it's not sex work itself, it might be sex work adjacent. It might be something slightly erotic or something like pretty that has nudity. Like,
it is the world's oldest profession
for a reason. Yeah.
Like, you look at the 80s, Betamax, VHS. Yeah. VHS won because porn chose VHS. That's the only reason.
Crazy.
And I mean, like, Sony was stupid with Betamax and they didn't share the technology. It was a better format than VHS, technically, but VHS won because porn chose VHS. These
are the things where it's like when people, you know, maybe aren't familiar with the fact that we actually do live in a very like prude-ish society.
It's
like
fucking
North
ridiculous.
America, we're a bunch of prudes.
Yes.
The people who brought the religion over and like could not, you know, destigmatize sex in general, they're still writing the terms and conditions.
Old
like,
white men.
Dude.
It's ridiculous.
I want to be like old and see things change So much more.
I really hope so, because we're still dealing with like abortion laws in Texas. You can't get an abort. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Why are old white? Yeah, it's fucking fuck off. It is.
Yeah.
Why are
this
old
tiny clump of cells is more important than this living, breathing, conscious.
Oh, I'm sorry.
person.
Okay, can our
Oh,
like our
women, you're not worth as much as the potential to maybe be a tiny man in there. Like,
absolutely. What about the children that wind up in foster care once they've been born? You don't want to take care of them? Oh, it really is just about controlling women's bodies. That's all it's about.
That's why we're friends.
That's what it's all about. It has nothing to do with fucking religion. It has nothing to do with.
Well, and I mean, it does have a lot to do with religion, because people get in this moral state where they're like, my morals.
I would call it a moral high ground, but yeah.
Your morals.
Yeah.
And if
they
it's
think
not,
it's a moral high ground.
But honestly, you see that in so many things in our society nowadays, where people, when you decide your morals and how you want to live your life, and if you go to another society, like you go traveling, you visit, and you see things that might go against your morals, and you're like offended and shocked, it's like, I think it's pretty easy to get stuck in thinking that, it's your way or the highway, that's the only way to live. When on many sides, it's like, and in many different respects, there's the beautiful thing about being human is there can be like so many different ways to live, like, so long as you're not hurting other people or taking away their bodily autonomy and rights.
Yeah, but that's a lot of what people do.
Isn't it?
That is a lot of what the government does.
Like, when I say that, I'm thinking about, even simple things that, actually, I don't have an example handy in my brain.
There's not a lot of
I'm just thinking about every time I've been like culture shocked somewhere, you're like, wow, this is so different. And you're like, cool, it's so different. There's so many people who are like, oh, it's so different.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, because...
And that goes down to like opinions about life and politics and...
Yeah, and it's... Yeah, and...
The answer is usually somewhere in the middle.
Well, and it's a lot of like white people that don't like their normal disrupted. That's a lot of what it is. Like the culture shock stuff you're talking about, where like, ooh, I don't like it. And it's like, yeah, it's because...
I think that could be anybody who hasn't experienced, doesn't have a worldly view yet.
I hate white people, but... No, I don't.
We hate the system in which white people benefit all the time.
I just hate people. I hate the government. That's what I hate. They're after me now. But no, like, honestly, like, yeah, it's funny how, like, when you say that, where you're like, yeah, like, I wish we could live in a society. It's like, I do genuinely wish we lived in a society where it's like, yeah, do whatever you want as long as it doesn't hurt other people. And because ultimately, like, what...
But unfortunately, like, that's so much of the world is things even with the best of intentions, like, end up hurting people, like...
But it's like
communism, best of intentions, some pretty bad examples of follow through.
Well, it's just all about control. It's all about... There's a lot of, like, really power-hungry people out there.
Well, it brings us back to the, social studies.
Yeah, and it's all about power and control and yeah, what a nightmare. A lot of this.
This is why we play video games.
Yeah, because we just want, we don't, and it sucks because it's like sometimes you just want to escape for a little while and forget about like some of the just truly awful, like obviously like everything going on in like the Ukraine right now. I should not have said the Ukraine, like everything going on in Ukraine right now and just like where it's literally just Putin, like, it's a dick measuring contest, and people are dying because of it. Mm-hmm. That's fucked. That's so fucked.
Mm-hmm. And that's just what happens when you let very, very few people sit at the very top of anything.
He's a small man.
Any government included, like all of them.
Yeah, they're like small men.
There are different ways of fucking people over for your own benefit.
Yeah, and they're not the ones on the front line fucking fighting for this shit. They're sending other people in their stead, going like, oh, you're fighting for... Mm-hmm. All these moral reasons, or all these fucking like patriotic reasons, or all this fucking bullshit. Patriotism is fucking bullshit. It really is.
You can be proud of like the people that you have
Yes.
around you, like your community.
Yes.
Be proud of customs and cultural, you know, things
Yes.
that bring you together. That is good patriotism. Patriotism for the sake of,
No, but why-
we're better than you, so you can die. Like,
Yeah, but like, why isn't it like an earth patriotism, not a fucking like country patriotism?
don't you just wish we could just live wherever we wanted and not worry about visas?
But like, I don't, and that's the thing. Like, I don't what I don't understand, what I've never understood about people is just like, because like and I say this as somebody that's like super fearful of people because ultimately they are the most dangerous animal.
Oh, yeah. I'm way more scared of people than running into a bear.
But like, I know, and I've said this on like a previous podcast. I can't remember who I said it to, but like, I know for a fact that in my lifetime, women for sure, probably some men, that like just walking down the street, I'm sure that I've probably put fear into somebody because
Yeah, without knowing.
exactly
Walking
because
too close, walking a little too fast.
whatever it is, whatever
For
it is,
real.
and completely by accident.
You've seen too many horror movies, you know.
Yeah. And completely by accident because I'm not going to attack anyone. I'm not going to fucking hurt anybody. In fact, I'm way more fearful of other people. Like I'm like a spider. I'm way more afraid of you than you are of me. It's just the truth. And once I realized that, where it was just like, oh shit, like where maybe and not for any particular reason, just like this kind of like epiphany of like, oh God, like we're all just afraid of each other at the end of the day, when it's like, no, like we should be trying to figure out like the sense of community and not just working so hard but companies don't make money.
And actually, after living in a society where we've all just been afraid of each other only in terms of like, you know, a virus, or like, even if it's not about getting the virus, you're worried about that person's opinions on the virus,
or whether they're vaccinated or not,
or just like a slew of things where there's so much fear revolved around other people. This is like, yeah, I think this is a common theme that people are like, I'm sick of it. Like, I just want to, you know, not be afraid of people and things.
I just want to go do things and like, not worry. Yeah.
Yeah. And like whatever collective effect that has, it's like will happen. But, you know, that starts in the micro level of yourself where it's like, oh, I need to come here and sit here and have an unmasked conversation with my friend because
I know,
this is, we need to get back to living.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for everybody to get back after having, you know, we've all had so much time to think about how we want to live, you know, when we've been away from how we've ideally wanted our lives to be for so long.
I think the perspective we gained from this.
Oh yeah.
A lot of us took things for granted.
Yes. Like last year, a few of my, you know, colleagues / friends at work who've made choices to move on because they've had the time to like, you know, like my friend Kate decided that they really needed to live in the middle of the woods in BC and moved out there with their partner and are just like doing exactly what they wanted to do. And that is the benefit. That's, you know, if there's a silver lining to any of this, you know, my lovely Jay working in a private studio with some buds, like in a place you can close the door and choose his own music. Yeah, awesome. You took some time, you thought about how you want to live your life and you're doing it.
He wanted privacy.
We all need to just do whatever, you know, we got to have time to be truly honest with ourselves about what we want. And for myself, like now I've got this like car camping thing. I'm like, I know how I want to live my life. I want to take a month off at a time and go explore and see how cool the world is.
Content trips.
Is it content if it's like just for your own memory?
Yes.
Okay, it's a content. It's a content trip.
No, I know exactly what you mean though. It's
yeah.
You have.
I'm really excited and like for people to, you know, live more truly to themselves from now on. You know, if you have the opportunity, the means, which I know we don't all do. No. But I just do love seeing people live.
Well, we're here for such a finite amount of time. And I think
do what you want.
Yeah, I think a lot of what, because like obviously there's a lot of differing opinions on that stuff, and make sure that this is still. Oh, that fucking camera died.
When?
I don't know. Hold on one sec. Because I'm about to make a good point too, but
Oh, shit.
that's okay. It's
It couldn't have been that long ago. Or could it
Well,
have?
who knows?
Shit, we were in the zone for so long.
It's okay. This camera's.
We still got...
We're
some
like
time.
we're wrapping up like right now, so we just need like 5 more minutes because like we're at like 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but it's been a really good conversation.
I have really enjoyed... We needed to do this again, that's
well,
why.
because this episode's infinitely better than the last one. The last one
Don't
was just
compare us all.
No, this one's better.
Oh, okay.
No, this is better. No, like the better than the last one you and I did.
Oh.
Yeah, not the one I did on Thursday.
I was like,
no, that's
harsh.
no, that's a great episode. No.
Yes, this one we got a vibe now.
Yeah. We have a better vibe than in that one. I was like, oh, blah,
Oh,
blah,
is
blah.
it just dead?
No, it should be rolling now. Yeah, it's rolling.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's
we're
a
good.
little red light, so I didn't know.
It's on the side, so it's hard to see, which is stupid. Anyway, we are only here for like a finite amount of time. So I think one of the things that I realized, especially lately, and there's a lot of differing opinions on this, where it's just like, why spend that time doing something that you don't enjoy doing? Because like, for example, Krista is under the opinion that you just like, you get a job, you work your 9 to 5 so that you're able to afford
Working to live.
well, we're exactly like extracurriculars that you want to do, like going on vacations and stuff like that. I don't agree with her on that. She's like, she has, like flat out says, like, she's like, I don't feel like you don't need to be passionate about what you're.
She doesn't need to.
And that's fair.
And that's, both are completely valid, like, ways to live your life.
Exactly. So and that's why it's like, what I try to relay to her is that I'm like, you're never going to change my opinion on that because we're infinitely different people. If what works for you will not ever work for me.
That's the beauty of it.
I worked a monotonous do nothing job for 11 years while also working on my passion to turn my passion into something that I can do something with. And I've done that to a certain degree, and I'm still continuing to do that, right? Like to me, it's not like, I wouldn't even know how to measure. I've had successes, I've had failures along the way, and we all have. Right now I'm at a point where I'm starting over, if that makes sense. Like but I also feel like everything I've learned along the way is like, has led me to this point. Like the roadmap of my life, like there's so many things that like, if that hadn't happened, this wouldn't have happened, then this wouldn't have happened, then this, you know what I mean?
It's a wild ride.
And I do truly believe that like everything happens for a reason, and that if you're not allowing yourself to be open to opportunities presenting themselves, or like doors opening, or certain things happening, like if you just like concede and you completely close yourself off to certain scenarios or things happening, like they're never going to happen. Right? Like, so,
or you just won't see them because you don't want to see them.
Exactly. So I look back to, because like I said, I spent 11 years working at I can say at WestJet, and it was fucking brutal. That company went downhill so quickly.
I remember you used to be so happy at some point in time, and then
like it, I mean, like
we
it was
got puppies back.
Yeah, I know the puppies are upstairs now. Great. Yeah, like at a certain point, it was like we had fun. Like I wouldn't trade all of the traveling I did for like insanely cheap.
It doesn't mean that it was a bad way to spend your time.
It wasn't all bad for sure,
No.
but the
met
bad,
some cool people.
Definitely met a lot of cool people. That's the reason I stayed, was the people. Because had I not worked with those rad people, like it wouldn't have been as fun as it was, right? And
Is that how you met Adam too?
Yeah.
Did you guys meet at WestJet?
Yeah, we met at WestJet, and it's funny.
What a beautiful thing that became.
Yeah,
Like,
and I mean, I've known him like 8 or 9 years now because of that. And
you probably wouldn't have come out to Vancouver all those times too if you didn't have that WestJet hookup. Meet your bro Miles.
I would never have met Miles. You and I would not have gotten closer. Like it infinitely.
It might have felt like a bad job to you, but it
yeah
100% got you where you are.
Yeah. So it definitely put me in a better position to do certain things and meet people and stuff like that. So I would never trade any of that for the world. However, I wasn't passionate about it. I didn't want to be there forever. So when it came time to, like, when they told us that they were ending our employment they told us in late 2018 that we had like 9 months, and then we were done in 2019. My last week was like April of 2019. I had resolved to, like, okay, this was
Time to switch it up.
yeah, this was my not epiphany, but it was just that moment where it was like, yeah, you can, because they basically, the options they gave us were like, you can leave the company or you can take a job back in Calgary, because I was in Fort McMurray at the time. And I was like, I am not taking the job in Calgary, because I also knew what was going to happen. I was going to go back to Calgary, and then they were going to shut down the program there, and I would have been out of a job again. So, and that's what happened. So I had resolved to, like, nope. I said, it's time. I've been here 11 years. I've been working on stuff. I said, it's time to look for something else. And so once I started actually looking for other things, and probably sticking to my guns a little bit more than I should have, but like also not selling myself short in terms of like the direction that I wanted to go, that's ultimately where I found myself, linked up with some good people, and like, in a totally new environment, and in my first office job, and like trying to navigate that, and like, oh, now I'm making videos full time, and like trying to figure that out, and like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, so now I'm like, all of a sudden I'm not doing like a monotonous, kind of job I'm not passionate about. I'm actually doing something that I'm passionate about every single day, and actually,
and that was the call that you felt. Even if people like Krista don't feel that, that's
exactly
totally fine. But like, you've heard the call and you've answered it, and that's very brave.
And it was like, okay, now I found myself in a position where it was like, okay, I need to learn more about this. I need to get better at it. I need to.
And that's what your last job did for you, didn't it?
Yeah, and that's ultimately what led to that, and then now that's led to this, right? So it's kind of like,
you're at the start of another new cool chapter in your progression.
Totally.
That's
and
exciting.
It hasn't all been sunshine and rainbows, and that's fine.
That's life.
But that's life. And life isn't all sunshine and rainbows, but it's what you make of it. So
a funny thing that was told to me when I very first started tattooing was a quite crotchety older man in the industry was like, it's not all plaques and hams. And I truly did not understand, because I was like, what? I was like, oh, you used to get hams? Like a ham is a prize? And it was just a generational, like, funny disconnect that we had. But sometimes that pops up in my brain where I'm like, it's not all plaques and hams,
Holy fuck. It's not all plaques and hams. That is...
I am an old man now.
I know. I remember. Yeah. Oh my God. We drove by my old house, like over, it's like on the farthest west side of Calgary, like as you're leaving on 16th, or like on TransCanada or whatever, and like we were driving down there, and I started doing this like old man character where I was just like, I remember when Stony Trail was it only went from here just up to Scenic Acres. It didn't go any further. And then I remember they extended it and they went to Royal Oak.
Old Calgary, man.
Oh, now Stony Trail, it goes almost all the way around the city. One day it will.
I remember when the only job was oil and gas.
I remember when COP didn't have a half pipe. COP, they used that in the Olympics.
I remember
1988. That was a good year.
I remember when Chinook Mall took you 5 minutes to walk across.
Do you know that there's a time capsule in the floor of Chinook Mall?
No, I didn't actually.
There is.
Tell me more, Grandpa.
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, there's a time capsule
from 1995.
Yes, it's going to be opened in
trending
30
again.
years from now. I put a few things in that time capsule.
Your pogs.
My I put my teeth in that time capsule and
Chris just slams on the brakes.
they'll
She's like,
fucking
get out,
they'll
Gramps."
pull that jaw of teeth out and go, what the fuck is this? Why are there teeth in this time capsule? No,
And
there
those
actually
teeth
is.
are the kind of thing I want in my psychedelic art room.
100%. You didn't know there was a time capsule in
No, I
Chinook?
truly didn't.
So in that main atrium area, like where they
Yeah, where
usually
they put the Christmas tree.
in the floor, if you look down, there's a time capsule with the timer running till when it's going to be opened. And I think
That's what that is.
that's what that is. It's a time capsule.
I thought it was just like global time zones or something.
No, that little thing in the floor is a time capsule.
Shows them what I'm trying to-
So and I think it was set for 50 years. So I think it was it's going to be opened in like 2040.
Oh, okay.
2040 something, because I think they put it in there
When
in the
we're
90s.
just a desert wasteland.
Yeah.
But the mall
when the mall
will
was
still stand.
Yeah, the mall. Well, who the fuck knows? There's a Nickelodeon one that it was actually. There was a Nickelodeon one that was made in the early 90s, I think, and I think that one's set to open in 2030,
Interesting.
something like that. Yeah, you should look up Nickelodeon time capsule because I think it's going to open in 2030 or 2040.
Interesting.
Can't remember.
We might still be talking when that happens.
Well, that's what I mean. Like.
I mean, in this podcast, we've been gone so
Oh my God, I know.
over
We need to-
time.
Oh my God, I know. At an hour and 40 minutes, I was like, we can hit 2 hours. Let's do it. We got an hour.
They'll be cracking that time capsule, and you and I will be like, we haven't played the
I
latest
remember
game.
when they put that time
What
capsule
we've
in the
been here?"
ground.
We'll just be skeletons.
And on that note, I guess this will never work. I'm Lincoln.
Oh, I'm Sam. Hi.
We'll try again tomorrow. I can hear the rustling of your shirt. It's hilarious. Okay, bye.
Sometimes the irony of trying to write a theme song for a show called This Will Never Work gets the best of you, and, well, it sucks. So, welcome.